Good rise, everyone. Good rise, everyone. It's a beautiful Sunday. And a lot of us are in the church to get deceived as an African. If you don't have the knowledge of yourself, you will be deceived. It's a collective enlightenment. Good rise, everyone. You're welcome. Asa Jugo, it's been a while. I hope you're doing good. Today, I will be talking about why we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Why we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are the omnipotent, omnipresence, and omniscience. That is what creates the essence of God within. When people who think they are more intelligent than you are, they know what God means, and they told you God is in heaven. You're welcome to collective enlightenment. Please like and share. Like and share. Please like and share. Fearfully and wonderfully made is the human existence. Asa Jugo, it's been a while. I hope I'm coming out clear. It's been a while. How have you been? We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Fearfully and wonderfully made is the human essence. Okay, I'm glad you're getting well. You will be fine to all pass with time. Good rise, Wallow Wallow. It's a collective enlightenment for all African children. Please share, like. We are talking about why we are fearfully and wonderfully made. I mean, they can just tell us a little truth and cover it all with lies. If you think about the reason why we were told that God exists out of us, you will know that they were really covering for something. And this is a great knowledge which, if everyone knew this knowledge, nobody will complain of anything. People are crying, suffering. They lack money to buy medicine. There's some medicine that wouldn't heal you, while your body have the ability to heal itself from any disease. All you need to do is apply a principle. But how can you apply a principle you don't know about? You can't. They know it. That is why they fight against the optic. It's a spiritual war. Only if you understand this, then you can really read the difference within things, because it's a spiritual war. It is not the type of war you guys think. Mainly some of those meals, some of those natural plants that we eat is now produced by companies. They never dream of any one of us coming out of this illusion. You know, people living in hell and don't have the understanding that they are in hell. So while you suffer in hell, you pray to be in heaven. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Do you know that? No. Why? Because they told you you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and then they removed that acknowledgement away from you. Then told you that the God which is supposed to exist within you lives in heaven. So how will you know how powerful you are? You cannot. Please share. Is a collective enlightenment for all African children. Please share. Sorry about the noise. I live very close to the road. Sorry about that. You're welcome, Tish Jacob. Great Racing. You're welcome. We are talking about why we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and yet we suffer. We lack the ability to manifest, because we were told that God exists somewhere different from us. And today is a Sunday, which is the day of the sun. A lot of people are sitting in the church being robbed. Thank you, Black Root Science. You're welcome. You're welcome, Mr. Real. It's been a while. You're welcome, Real. Black Roots, how is your Sunday going? A lot of our brothers are being robbed right now. Thank you, Tish Jacob. Robbed off of their little penny. You know, some of them don't even have any to eat today or hope. Just maybe the little that they have is about to be robbed today. Oh, okay. I like drizzling. It kind of brings these chilly feelings and all that, you know. Thank you, Tish. I am well. I'm well, Black Roots, you know. I'm well, but it's so painful how we're blinded, you know. It's really so painful. That is why I am here. We don't know that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We lack the knowledge of self, because we were told what doesn't exist exists. What you call God is not God. There is a reason why we say God lives within. So many people don't even know it. But yes, God exists within. God is not out of you. I have a proof. Yes, we're rising. That is why we are rising. Why? Because the sun is about to take over. The sun is going back to its original method, its original form. The sun is going back to its original form. Good rise, Wanyoma, you're welcome. So we're about to have back the original sun, which is the black sun. Please like and share. Is a collective enlightenment for us all. Why are we fearfully and wonderfully made? Why are we fearfully and wonderfully made, and yet we cannot even manifest anything? Why? Because it is the knowledge that we were given. How can you tell a person they are fearfully and wonderfully made? That means everything that was used to create that person, they possess. And then you tell them to worship a God out of them that stays in heaven. But because of programming, they don't have the ability to realize that they are the ones who are fearfully and wonderfully made. Because everything that was used to create you, you possess all of them. You are the beginning without the end, the omnipotent, the omniscience, and the omnipresence. All of them are the embodiment of the human nature. You're welcome, the modes. Good rise. Great rising. You are more than you were told. If you have the ability to understand who you are and what you carry, you will know that everything is a lie. Fearfully and wonderfully made is the human essence. We are the only creation that doesn't have ending. But because we lack the ability to remember who we are as a people, doesn't mean we should lose out on that ancestral heritage. If you look at the stones in Egypt, you will understand that our ancestors knew that they were coming back. And who are those ancestors who were killed, who were taken as slaves? We are the ancestors present. So what do we do to get back to the place we have lost? We need the knowledge of self. I mean, this knowledge was hidden for a reason. And the ability to have this knowledge back is when we start touching back to the inner self. Because that God our ancestors talked about exists within. There are people who doesn't want us to awaken into this power because they are afraid of who we are. How can these people be when they touch back that knowledge? And that knowledge is what I've brought. Hakum Kakum. The Kemet knowledge. It is not of Egyptians. It is from the Akabulon, the first creation. Request to join live. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are the omnipotent, the omniscience, and the omnipresent. Only you can save yourself. Nobody is coming to save you. So you need to channel all your prayers into affirmations, because it is when you believe in the inner self that you will be saved. The kingdom of God is not far from you. You carry it. It's just the state of your mind. How does it become the state of a mind? Why? Because you need to channel something to create that frequency within you. To have a state of a mind is to shape your mind in a particular form that creates your physical manifestation. And yet, the medicines we take does not heal. But they failed to tell us that within us is an eternal medicine that can heal any disease. But how do you apply it, this knowledge? That is what I've come to tell you. May those who have ear listen and learn. We are the people who believe in suffering and smiling as a black entity. Even those who live in America, who call themselves Black America, even yet there is nothing like a Black America. The self-acclaimed Africans who call themselves Black Americans, they are no different. Why? Because they are all brainwashed. They also behave like us over here. You know? To be civil doesn't clean related bloodlines. It's a powerful thing. You cannot clean it. You can only genetically mutate a people, maybe shape them into thinking the same way. But their blood, the behavior, the characteristics of a people can never be removed. When you look at them, who do you see? You see a brother. I mean, if you want to know a melanated being, look at their nose. And then, after that, you look here. The shape is always different. Mother creation. Fearfully and wonderfully made. But yet, we cannot manifest anything. Heaven is real, yes. But the way you were told about it is not how it is. Heaven is an energy that you need to experience. And how do you experience heaven? You become it. A lot of people will live all their life in hell. That is why they told you not everyone will see the kingdom of God. Not everyone will see the kingdom of God. Why? Because it is only a few that possesses the true knowledge of what the kingdom of God is. Few. Even the people who are pastors doesn't even know that what they are preaching about is false, and they are the Antichrist. The people who have hidden the true knowledge of Christ. Because the true knowledge of Christ would have shaped the world. But there are people who are using it for the few. To manifest, create everything so beautiful. And then the people who are the original owner of this knowledge die in hunger. They can't even manifest anything. Why? Because their mind have been reshaped. Thank you, Wanyoma. Thank you so much for that gift. When did you switch to this account? Thank you so much for being here. It's a collective enlightenment for all African children, for the children of the sun. When we study the sun, study the moon and the stars, they say we worship them. Yet they say they know the meaning of acknowledgement. They called it prayer. Everything you think you know that is right is not. Fearfully and wonderfully made is the human essence. While you think you're less, you're more than how you think you are. When you look at yourself, I want you to understand that heaven and hell exist within you. And some people will live all their life and choose to be in hell. And while you are hoping for heaven, you are already in hell. That is the thing, the knowledge we were given to suffer and pray for heaven. Hell is something that you experience. You have to be in it. Why? When you are in it, your physical reality becomes the same. It's all about the thoughts. They told us, yes, it's all about the thoughts. It's all about being positive, but it's ain't that alone. You can be positive. You can make your thoughts in alignment with anything, but yet you are not manifesting. Why? Because there is a power within you that commands the miracle to happen. Why? Because first of all, you must understand that you are a miracle. You are the magic. And in order to express the magic, you must become that magic. Why? How do you become the magic? By understanding who you are. A person who lacks the knowledge of themselves will never be able to manifest. Why? Because they don't even know who they are. So when that knowledge is stripped off of you, that you don't know who you are, you lack the knowledge of self-belief. It is only when you believe in yourself that you will become able to manifest anything you want. But when you lack the knowledge of your own self, that knowledge will leave you. Within the human body is something that is greater than anything. When you think about the cherubims, when you hear the word cherubims, how do you feel? But imagine a great knowledge like that, like the cherubims, was not even told the truthful way to us. The cherubims within, we are the cherubim. The ark we are more powerful than we have been told. Thank you, Wanyoma. So when you hear the word the cherubim and seraphim, what do you understand? We have been told a lot of things, but yet none is the truth. When you pick up a mirror and you look at yourself, I want you to realize that you are the cherubim. Because the ark is the embodiment of yourself. And the cherubim is the cerebellum, the cerebrum, the holy claustrum, the pituitary gland, and the hippocampus, the almonds. These are the cherubims within. You carry a power greater, a force greater than any force within. Please share, like. Please share, like. And yet we were told that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Yes, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. It's the truth. But because that same truth was coupled with millions of lies, we lack the knowledge of self. When a man doubts himself, you wouldn't be able to manifest anything because you lack the knowledge and you lack the ability to enforce yourself into whatever you want to become. It's all within. Please share. It's a collective enlightenment for all African children. Please share. We are the omnipotent, omnipresence, and omniscience. You are the beginning without end. That is why we were told that you can harm the flesh because the flesh experiences death. So when you touch the flesh, you are not touching me. Why? Because there is something inside the flesh that is everlasting. Yes. But they didn't make us understand this knowledge that this is because the purpose of reincarnation is possible. But there is something that makes us God, and we carry it. We see it every day. But you have given that acknowledgement to something that doesn't even exist, and yet you call it God. While you carry God within. All your life you have been with God. A lot of us have misused this God. We've disrespected this God. If you look at the story of Adam and Eve, it's the same story that was told by the what? By the Christians about Joseph and Mary, who gave birth to the Son. A lot of people have misunderstood that. They think it's just a physical expression of man and woman. No. This is an expression that exists within. That is why this energy is represented as feather in Kemet. That feather represents the essence that makes you who you are. That divine essence, that divine power, the divine energy. When a man is being lied to about everything and you don't even know what to believe anymore, you will lose yourself into it. But here comes the truth. In this program, I made a promise that there will be no allegory. We say it the way it is. Even the art of meditation, we have been lied to. While you're meditating, you're also doing it wrongly. So how do we become God? Thank you, Wanyoma. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How do you become God? Because God exists within. If you're a man here, oh, Wanyoma, you got 111. 111. 111 is a great message for you. You know, if you've started walking this spiritual journey. I started having itching on my eyes. My eyes is itching. You're going to see something. It might be knowledge, because 111 is mostly about new knowledge, a new knowledge that will take you into a higher place, you know, a higher realm. Divine Feminine, you're welcome. Good to have you here. Great rising. You know, you're about to walk into a great knowledge, a great awakening, you know, that is going to take you into the next stage. That is 111. It doesn't come easily, but you got it today. 111. So prepare yourself. A certain knowledge is about to hit you, and prepare yourself, you know. Please share. How do we become God? Because we have been told, even all over that book, You have been told that you are God. Somebody who told you you are fearfully and wonderfully made have already made you understand that you are God. Good rise, Henry Best. You're welcome. So, if you're a man, you look at your sperm. What do you see? What do you think? When you look at your sperm, that is the God. That is God. If you're a woman, you look at your juice. The juice is the same as your egg. That is the thing that carries your egg. That is the child. When you look at it, that is God. But your ability to turn this knowledge into what it is, into its true nature, is what makes you God. Why? Because you are transforming this energy into what it is. So you're becoming God. There is a way to do that. That is the knowledge, that is the hidden knowledge we all have been lied to about. They change the dates, the years, and everything. They falsify everything for a reason. Why? Because if you have the knowledge, okay, how would you know when this knowledge is risen within? Yes, the Son of Man is within. That is why it's called the Son of Man. Why? Because it's rechargeable. What you call solar energy, that knowledge was gotten from the human body. The human body is rechargeable. Why? Because of this knowledge. And when you don't have this knowledge, how do you recharge yourself? Then know the knowledge is very, very important, because knowledge is power. Knowledge is the only thing that will shaping you into your true existence. So while you're living this life, so many people will live all their life dwelling in heaven. Dwelling in hell, why they pray for heaven. But the hell is the experience you're having right now. That is your hell. So how do you step into heaven? You must acknowledge this power within. I keep repeating this knowledge because it's the most important thing. You can choose to use it for creation, which is giving birth, creating children, because you are the originator and the creator of mankind. So if you're a man, you are an originator, because you carry a seed that, if planted into a womb man, will create life. But the same seed can be used to create life within. So, which do you choose? Do you choose your purpose or to civilize? A lot of people, when you come into this knowledge newly and you have a couple, try to make them understand, because this knowledge can break everything you have, even your home. Trust me. They taught the monks to embrace celibacy, but you don't know the reason why. Why you laugh at them for not creating? They are building the knowledge to further program you. People always criticize what they don't understand, but there is always a greater knowledge in the fool's perspective. Everything about African spirituality is the expression of the human anatomy. As an Igbo man, when I say chi, I mean divine essence. I don't mean the one on the Ukbosi. No, that is wrong. You can remove your chi from you and put it inside a stick. No. Your chi is everlasting and only dwells within your body. The Ukbosi has their own chi and dwells within them. That is why they are trees. And when you cut them off, they no longer have life. So what have you put into that Ukbosi? Good rise, Queen Hosna. You're welcome. Everything exists within you. This is the Alu. This is the Nsi. What are you creating? Are you creating the child within or the child to civilize? You can do the both of them. But how do you do it? Just like a woman is free, maybe her menses period and her ovulating period, and during the period she is free. So a man. So you can choose what to do with this knowledge. When you go back to Old Kemet, you see the story of Osa, Oset, and Heru. Isis, Ra, and El. Which is the star, sun, moons, and star. A lot of people don't know the expression. Yes, it is man, woman, and child. But what are they talking about? They are talking about the cerebellum and the cerebrum. Then the expression of these two balanced energy is Heru, the child, which is the opening of the optic. If the optic is not opened, you can never understand the difference between illusion and living the moment. You've heard stories of Methuselah and Aaron, all of them who lived a very long life. But how did they acknowledge, how did they know and live so long like that? It is because there is a knowledge they applied within. None of us have. They live like immortals. You look at the pharaohs in Egypt, all of them that was excavated, their skin is divine. Why? Because the skin experienced life everlasting. There is something that fed the skin and made it not to experience decay. So even when the spirit is no longer within the body will never experience darkness. Why? Because they were rising something. So let me ask you today, how do you meditate? How do you meditate? Because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are more than the lie. So if you look at yourself, you've been asking yourself, what is God? God is the secretion within you. That secretion, if you're a woman, that is your juice, and a man, that is your sperm. And so when somebody say, I am God, yes, they are God because they carry God. One with God is with majority. You are with God and you have majority. The majority are the chakras, the elements, and the rising of the sun within all of them. Those are your majority. The journey of this secretion will pass through the spinal cord. And where is the chakras? That is the spinal cords. So you must align everything. So when you talk about alignment and channeling, a lot of people just say it. They don't even know what it means. I want to channel myself. When you say I want to channel myself, you're talking about the inner self, the self within. And what are you channeling? What are you channeling? If you don't know what you're channeling, then you're wasting your time. To channel is not to sit down in one place and maybe concentrate. You've just successfully calmed your mind from all of the thoughts. Sometimes so many people even experience more noise within their thoughts when they meditate. So you're not even doing anything. All of you here need to understand that you are more than you've been told. Fearfully, wonderfully made. Bomb maker, if you always dream about floods, is not good. Those are hard times. Hard times is about to hit you. So you need to save, You need to save some things, mind the way you spend, because when this hard time come, it doesn't sweep you off your feet. Please share and like. Is a collective enlightenment for us all. What do you believe in? Do you rather believe in yourself or an imaginary existence? God is your essence. God is your secretion. Your ability to rise this God and to become one with it is what makes you a universe having an experience. So when you hear somebody talking about the spiritual aspect of man, that is the sperm. If you're a woman, that is the juice. That is why the juice and the sperm of a man is very powerful. It's one of the most powerful essence within the human. That is why it can be used to manipulate nature. And within you can use it to become everything. Why? If only you can control your animalistic nature. And that animalistic nature is what makes you hunger for sexual intercourses. Can you follow the path of celibacy in order to awaken this knowledge, in order to remember who you are? Hi Vivi, how are you? Welcome to Collective Enlightenment, the missing knowledge. If you say I'm meditating, be sure that you're meditating for something. If you say I want to channel myself, you must be channeling for something. And if you don't have the knowledge of whatever you're channeling, that means what you're doing is crap. Because of the knowledge we were given, so many of us, we don't even know the date the Son of Man rises with it. The date is the most important. Because if you know the date, then you can be able to meditate to rise. Good rise, Elizabeth. You're welcome. It's good to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for that gift. Thank you so much. So a lot of us have been meditating wrongly. Because why? We were told that the original owners of meditation are people who are not even genetically related to us. Greetings, Emmanuel. When you own the purpose of meditation and you are told to meditate, the people who owns it are the Chinese people. And then, being a black African, we don't always make research. When you look at the Chinese nose and you look at your own nose as an African, what is the difference? Our ancestors have the true knowledge of meditation. Why? Because they were meditating for something. In fact, the word meditation means to be watchful. That is why in the Bible, the word mostly used is being watchful for the Son of Man. So you come back to its true meaning, which is meditating. It means you are waiting for the Son of Man. So when you wait for the Son of Man, you have to rise it to the head. Now you talk about the devil, while it just means lived. When you write the spelling devil, please try to reverse it. When you reverse it, you will understand that it just means lived. And what you call Satan is something that dwells within you, that receives the Son of Man in the gate of heaven. And that gate of heaven is the entrance, which is the hallowed area within the pituitary gland in the human brain. That is set in Kemet. That is what you call Set, the betrayer, the devil, the seat of the sacra plexus, which is called Agvo in Igbo language. Titsi, you're welcome. Titsi, you're welcome. So, everything within a man is fearfully and wonderfully made. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Why? Because we carry knowledge that is higher than anything. So when you say, I am channeling myself, you're channeling the inner self, the self within, the majority, the God. You have to align everything together. And the birth of the Son of Man comes once every month. The birth of Son of Man comes once every month. So once every month is the day you were born. So if you look at the date you were born, from that date in every other month, the Son of Man rises within. The Son of Man is the secretion, the holy water. So if you talk about the holy of all holies, that is the holy Santa Classroom that dwells within the receiver of Christ, the holy of all holies. So when you hear the word Holy Ghost, they're talking about your essence. So when you're casting Holy Ghost upon evil, you're casting yourself upon the evil. Why? Because you are the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost is associated with your breath. That is your ghost. Good rise, Kel. It's been a while. Happy Sunday. After praying, you say Amen. Amen exists within you. Aminra. Amunra. There is something within us that receives the elevation of the secretion into the golden and electrified cranium, which is the crude within. The receiver of Christ is called Amuns. The bread of life. Even when they taught us not to eat from the bread of life, they also give us the bread of light to eat from. Programming. Just to remove us from the true knowledge of what God is. Who is God? I am God. Why am I a God? Because I bear a secretion that is holy of all holies. Your body is the temple of God. Keep it holy. What are you keeping holy? You know, keeping it holy is about controlling the flesh in order for the spirit to experience the holy of all holies. You should also be having intercourse, sexual intercourse within. The process of planting the seed within a woman, you can also use the same process to plant the seeds within you. I'm not talking about the process of masturbation. No. What I just mean is you need to know the date and also allow the Son of Man rise within you. The reason of Sodom, a son of man within, will only step you into heaven. We are in hell hoping to be in heaven. And all of our experiences, inability to manifest anything, that is the hell. Is there any other hell you want to be in rather than this one? Ain't no hell that will be so hard more than this one. While we have the ability to create our heaven, and we are not creating it because of the kind of knowledge we were given. If you always hear your name in our tradition, it's not good. It's a bad thing. It's a bad omen. So if you always hear your name, it's projection, and you having the ability to tap into that kind of frequency is a good thing, so that you get ready for war. You know, somebody is mentioning your name in a wrong way. It's not a good thing. So I'm glad you're not answering it. I hope you're not answering those names. When they call you, don't answer. You do like this 3 times. You move on. It's a natural ways to get rid of things like that. Your late mom is always with you. Just because you don't have the ability to see them doesn't mean you wouldn't have the ability to perceive their aura. Remember, her DNA is within you. So you are your late mom. Even while before you were born, your mother carried that DNA called you. And today you are into existence. So there was a time you were a part of her, not separated. Your father is the one who separated you from your mom. But bear it in mind, there was a time you were one with her. So your ability to perceive her aura dwells within you. So do not be afraid. You are just one with your mom. You are just your mom too. This is a collective enlightenment for all African children. Please share. We are talking about how we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are the omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscience, the beginning without end. You can only experience life because you have experienced death, and you can only experience death because you have experienced life. Both of them are opposite, law of opposite. They are interwoven within each other. We all talk about how to grant ourselves, and after that, what next? We do shadow working and all that. And then we talk about channeling. And when you're channeling, what are you channeling? You must have a knowledge that you're channeling something, and we must have the ability to understand words when spoken. Whenever you hear channel, it's because you should be channeling something. What do you use channel for? You use channel to channel something. That is why in TV stations they call it channel. Why? Because you need to tune in to get the particular frequency. So a lot of us, we've lived our life up until now in hell without experiencing heaven. How do we experience the land of milk and honey? It is called the land of milk and honey because that is when we have the ability to be one with the universe in order to manifest our desires. How do you manifest your desires? You must allow the Son of Man rise up to the alunsi. If the death of Jesus does not happen within you every month, you are missing the channeling and you are missing the meditation. So when you want to meditate, you must be meditating for something. And if you're not doing that, you're doing it wrongly. If you're channeling and you don't have this knowledge that you should be channeling something, you're doing it wrongly. You're welcome, Jehuti. You're welcome. That can happen if she belongs to some kind of evil society. It can happen.
Good ride, sir.
Good rise.
Greetings to you.
Are you driving? Are you driving, Elizabeth?
Yes, sir, I'm driving.
It's too noisy.
Disturbing. Okay, let me.
Maybe wind up. It will be better when you wind up or something.
Okay, sir. Is it okay, sir?
Yes, it's okay.
Hello?
It's okay now. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask. Okay, I wanted to ask something because for a month now I've been eating Holy Spirit. Sometimes
Yes.
I meditate, it doesn't work. I don't understand why.
You're meditating and it's not working.
No.
And you've been eating fruit. How do you feel within yourself since you started eating fruit?
Okay, the very first week, I feel waist pain. I also feel all my body was paining me, but
Yes.
I took medicine for the first week.
You don't need to take any medicine. You don't need to take any medicine. See, when you start taking fruits, maybe you're on fruit fasting, or maybe you want to carry it along for a very long time. After 7 days, you experience your saliva tasting bitter. You experience bitterness in your mouth, like you want to have malaria or something.
Yes.
That is not bitterness. That is your body reshaping into something. That thing is healing substances given into your body. Because why? Because your body is regenerating into something else. When you stop eating all those junks and eat only plants, your body will generate it, because there is some medicine inside the plant your body is taking to heal you.
I understand.
So when you feel those pain, you're feeling the pain because your body is no longer the way it used to be. Probably when you were eating much, you were bigger than you used to be. So when you start eating plants and your body is reshaping it into another thing, maybe you're reducing in size and your skin is kind of, your bone is shaping into another form. So you experience the pain.
Okay.
Especially when you're average, or you have, even when you're not average self, your body was in a particular form because of the kind of food you're taking. And when you start taking only plants, your body will reduce, so all of the bone will start reshaping. So you experience pain because it's uncomfort when the bone is no longer the way it used to be. So they will try to, yes, they will try to move into another shape. You're welcome, Bella.
Another thing, please.
Now, why you're not, before I forget, the reason you're not you're not being able to meditate is because, like I said, meditation happens to you naturally. And because it happens to you naturally, when you're meditating while you are not waiting for something, or you're not trying to channel something, you get it wrong. So you must know your date of birth and the original date this secretion rises within you. So if you know it, from that moment till full moon, you must stop taking all of this junk food. Take only plant-based food until full moon. So by after full moon, it is already risen within you. So after that time, you are free again up until your birthday.
Okay, sir. My problem is that my day of birth and the month I don't know, because the one my dad gave me, not my dad, my auntie gave me, because I'm in Europe. So the one that he gave me is not correct, but the date I know that, the year I mean. So that
You
is
know the
my main
year and the
problem.
month,
The only the year, the month and the day I don't know.
but you know the year.
Yes.
Maybe later chat me up, list things you like most and things you don't like.
Okay, sir.
Don't lie about it. Just list all of them to me. Things you like most and things you don't like.
Okay, sir.
Mambet, you're welcome. It's been a while. You're welcome. So
Please,
just
sir. Not
list it for me. Okay.
okay.
Go ahead.
I don't understand the 12 disciples, or is that what you
There's
mean? I don't.
the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ.
Yes. I
The
don't
12
understand
disciples of,
see.
that is what I want
Yes.
to explain. The 12
Okay.
disciples of Jesus Christ is what we call the 12 spinal column. And the 12 spinal column is what we call the 12 zodiac signs and the 12 tribes of Jacob. Because the spinal cord is the Jacob's ladder, which is the heft of
Okay.
heaven. That is also the seat of angels, the covering of angels. That is the spinal cord. And so the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ is the 12 spinal nerves, which is the 12 zodiac signs, is all sitting behind, because starting from the head is also the extension of the spinal cord, which is Aries, followed by the neck, which is Taurus. So it's starting from the crown chakra.
Okay.
Good rise, light and dark. You're welcome. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. I do. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I will go down and listen.
Please make sure you take your time. Write things inside, within, from your innermost part. Things you love doing, you can do freely. Just write it. Things you don't like, write it.
Okay, I should write things that I like and things that I don't like.
Yes, things you like and things you don't like. Things you like doing and things you don't like doing. List some of the colors you like.
Okay, sir. I will do that. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, but somebody like you like black, right?
I do. I do like black, also white.
Okay, just list them for me probably on WhatsApp.
Okay, sir.
Then later I will study. Then write your year, the year you were born.
Okay, sir.
Okay. How many days are all in the years? How many days are in the months of the years? It's all 28 days. No one is more than that.
Days.
Yes, okay. All of them are 28 days. It's all 28 days. So that is the reason we should know the calculation. If you don't know the calculation and when the Son of Man rises within you, you will miss the seat of heaven. So you will never never walk into the land of milk and honey, because there is something that needs to be risen within us, and when that thing is not rising, you're not meditating, you're just having fun. So when somebody say channeling, naturally it should come to you that, are we not supposed to be channeling something? Because when somebody say channel, that means you need to tune into something. And what are you tuning in? We have been told God is this, God is that, God is this, God's frequency. How do we tap into God's frequency? How do we become God? I am God. You talk about it, but you don't even know. I am an African. I am God. I'm neuromelanated. I'm this. I'm nine eater. I'm a child of Mother Made Nature. But yet, none of us know what it means. Like a woman, if you take your secretion, your juice, during your ovulation, that is God. A man, if you look at your sperm, that is God. Yes, that is Jesus Christ. That is God, the Son of Man. It is a Son of Man because it can be charged and it dwells within you. And who is the man? You. Somebody asked, Titsi said, for women, how is the descending and rising related to our ovulation cycle? During a woman's ovulation cycle, the juice carries the egg down below to meet with the originator, which is the seed of man. So if you're a woman and you don't do it during that period, you don't listen to your Sodom and Gomorrah, which is the urge to meet with a man, and you stop taking a lot of alcohol and things that are unnatural to the human nature, what will happen to you
can
is
you
this.
Please put me down? I don't know how to go down.
Okay, sorry.
No problem.
I didn't know you wanted to go down, So the ovulation period carries the egg of a woman to meet the originator in order for her to create. So now when she is not creating with this period, she's not creating with this juice, the egg, what happens? The juice moves back into her head. It goes back to the head. Remember, it was originated from the solar plexus into the spinal column. But if she uses it for sexual intercourse, thank you, Elizabeth, what happens? She have eaten from the bread of life. And if a man does the same, you have eaten from the bread of life. You have also eaten from the fruit in the center of the Garden of Eden. Why? Because you have engaged in a sexual intercourse instead of using this secretion to elevate the mind. So that is why a lot of people lack. So it's either you're using it for civilization or you're using it to create the child within, which is the wise expression of witchcraft, the balance within. Thank you, Chitsi. In a woman, it ascends down to the spinal column, which is the root chakra, because you will use it to create a child. So if a woman can control herself within this period, because during this time her animal side is awoken, because during that time she will be dwelling on Sodom and Gomorrah, which means the root chakra will be heightened. The root chakra is mostly where the sexual organs are located. So it's always heightened during this period. So if a woman can endure the urges of the flesh, after that 8 days, she becomes what? The juice rises back to the head. It goes up to the head through the spinal column. So when it gets there, it will become dead. Now it will use the method of titrating, like we were told in the church. When you hear tight, the word tight was taken from the elevation of the secretion from each cell, because when it's a juice, it's millions of cells, egg cells, and when it's a sperm, it's millions of spermatozoa cells. So it gets tightened into something else called crenum, which is the bread of life. So in its original form is a fish. So it's in fish form. It tastes like salt and it will smell like a fish. So you must know the date this thing is raising within. Thank you, Doski. It's been a while. You're welcome. So you must know the reason this thing is here. So when he ascends into heaven after 3 days, you have become enlightened. That is Jesus using his spit and sand to heal what? To heal the blind man. So if you rise this secretion up to the head, the healing of the blind man is the elevation of yourself, touching the immortal existence of yourself. So you are everything, but because we lack the knowledge of this, we are nothing. Just a programmed individual. Yes, the earth is healing. There is a lot of healing happening, because even a lot of people, a lot of us who talk about spirituality, we don't even understand the spiritual aspect of human being. Yes, because the spiritual aspect of human being is actually this secretion. When you look at your sperm as a man, that is your spirit existence. And you look at your juice as a woman, that is your spiritual existence. You just imagine this is a secretion that comes out of you, and you can use it to create a human being that breathes. Okay, sure. You can use it to create something that breathes, speaks with great smartness and intelligence. And now, within yourself, if you use this to create the child within, the expression of that child, wow. Imagine how powerful you will become. Just imagine how powerful you will become. So, why they are teaching the monks to be celibate? Nobody taught you to do that. You're welcome, Doski.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, bro.
Okay. I guess you can see me now, right?
No, I can see you, but I can hear you clearly. Yeah. I can see you now.
I'm live now.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I've been the spiritual journey walk.
Wow.
Are you hearing me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear
Are
you, but
hearing
your network is a bit
all right. I say
unstable.
how's been the work now. I've been seeing you have been going live all this while. I could have joined
Yes,
you all this while. You know how the earth has been evolving, all these things.
Yes,
So we have been on the healing process.
Yes.
We have been on the evolving process. Only few collective we know. Only few.
Yes.
You know that they say in the Bible, only the few are chosen. You understand?
Yes.
Only the chosen ones knows when the chosen ones are speaking. You understand?
Yes.
Greetings from here. Honestly, anytime you are saying your things, I just can't pass your life. I just can't. If I'm always live, I just want to pick some of your words because I always put those words in practice.
Yes.
My brother, I used to see changes too. Honestly,
Yes.
I don't know how much to say. My fellow brother is not here. I could have introduced him to you too. So could have joined the collective.
Okay.
He's also one of the star seed. You understand?
Wow.
He's also one of the stars. Honestly, we are proud. We are proud of you, brother. We are proud of you.
Thank you so much.
We are
Thank
proud
you so
of
much.
you. My network.
Thank you, bro. The network is a bit unstable. Peace and blessings, John Meach. You're welcome to the program, Collective Enlightenment. Sorry about that. Okay, Zamukule is saying, how do we calculate these circles from the date of first period, for example? Okay. How to calculate it is simple. Okay, bro. Continue, man.
No, tell them how to calculate it. I'm here. Anybody that wants to ask question, I'm here too. Even if anybody that have any collective question, they should drop it. I'm here. As you are giving them the answer, I can also add to what you want to say. You understand? It's a collective. You don't understand? I'm with you in the field. You are in the field. I'm with you,
so
brother.
Much. Thank you so
Let's
much.
fish together. Let's fish together.
Okay, Zamakulen is saying, how do we calculate these circles from the date of first period, for example? Now, during the time of your birth, if you were born, for example, if you were born on the 14th of the month, now it doesn't matter the particular month you were born, it extends into other months. So every day of that 14th, the Son of Man will be risen within you, which means your body produces this secretion called the egg of a woman or the sperm of a man. Now, your ability to channel this secretion without using it for sexual intercourse is what creates the God within. It's what activates this secretion. So, like I said, the process of activating this secretion is the process your body uses what is called tithing to recreate this secretion into its original form. So the sperm you are seeing is not the original form of this secretion. It's just the lower vibration of it. What you're seeing is the lower aspect of it. So when it gets titrated, it has stayed dead for 3 days on the cerebellum. Then it gets titrated into what is called cranium. This method of titration is what they have used in chemistry, in our all those labs. They separate crude. They get kerosene, fuel, and all that. But nobody is telling you that is the same way they infuse it into religion to use it to lie to people. To tithe doesn't mean you have given with your whole heart. When you give somebody tithe, you're giving to receive something more than what you have given as a tithe. That is what is called tithing. Why? Because your body is refining this secretion into something pure.
Right
and
on,
golden.
brother. Right on.
Anybody,
Right on. Right on. Right on. Keep right on. Yeah, it gets clear. Right on, brother.
so
Right on. Sorry.
anybody,
Right on.
so anybody you have given this tithe to, anybody you have given tithe to, owe you. Because the original meaning of tithe is to give and receive in return.
Yes, that's just it. That's just it. Very simple as that. Very simple as that.
Zamakule, if you want to understand this, it doesn't have the period. If you want to apply this knowledge, you just have to pick the date you were born, and you have to apply it every month. So from the date you were born, abstain from sex till full moon. So if you're the person who always see your ovulation before full moon or after full moon, you must apply it, which means after you have seen your ovulation, you have to wait till after full moon.
Yes.
So when you wait till after full moon, before that time, this secretion must have gone back to the head. So some people, their hormones are different from others, but it's easier for a man to apply this. Why? Because naturally a woman is already applying this nature according to your birth, because the way you see your monthly cycle, which is the period, and your ovulation is directly related to your birthday as a womb man. Zamakule, do you understand? Your birthday is directly related to your period and your ovulation. So as a woman, you are already expressing nature.
I do understand, but the thing is that our ovulation and period cycles change all the time. You'd find that
yes.
I'm yet to understand actually why it does change and when it does change, but you would find that
if your own
now,
always change, if your own change, that means you're having hormonal imbalance, because you are supposed to be seasonal like nature. So if you're out of the season according to the nature within yourself, if it doesn't align, that means your hormones are imbalanced. So you need herbs to correct it.
Okay, so ideally, if a woman's hormones were constantly balanced, they would have their cycle around the same date, which is calculated from the date you were born onto this earth.
Yes. A lot of women are already in that form.
Okay.
So you become
So now,
hormonal imbalance when you have shifted from the original.
okay, so now
That is what makes
I'll
you a
give an
woman. Go ahead.
yeah. I'll give you an example. I
Okay.
was born on the 5th of September. But you also
Okay.
mentioned that every single month is supposed to be calculated on a 28-day cycle. So then if it's supposed to be calculated that way, this means that the 5th of September, according to this wrong calendar where September has 30 days and the month before that has 31 days,
Remove.
then
Okay, let's calculate it. Fine. Let me give
yeah.
you a clue. Remove 2 from the 5. Where were you born originally? On the 3rd. If you remove 2 from the 5, you were born originally on the 3rd. So from 3rd, you count 21 days before the full moon. How many days do you have remaining for your ovulation?
No, but like if you're going to
You
be
don't understand.
correcting, if you're going to be
Go ahead.
correcting, yeah, the reason why I'm still like, giving you some more scenarios is so that we can end up on the same page. Now,
Okay.
if we say that January, I'm just making an example. January is the first month, right? I know that in Africa, actually September is our first month. But now, if you say that January,
it's not September. It's not September, it's March. March is the first month, which is the sun. The sun is the beginning.
Well, in the northern hemisphere, the first month or the beginning of the year goes with the spring season.
No, that is what you were told. September is even the ending because September, a lot of people are rounding up from planting.
Yeah, but in the southern hemisphere, it's different. In the northern hemisphere, it's the opposite. In the northern hemisphere, March is the spring. That's when we are starting to. Yeah. Just let me finish, maybe.
Let me explain something.
In the
to
northern
you. There is something you're missing.
Maybe let me finish this point first, then you can explain.
Just let her finish her point. Let her finish her point. Just let her finish. Let her finish her point.
Yeah. So according to our ancestors, they never used to have calendars per se and stuff like that. And when it comes to planting and expecting for the first plant to start blooming and for them to see a plant, they used just the mere seasons, which is mainly summer and winter, but obviously the transitions being autumn and spring. So beginning of a year and beginning of a new cycle, according to our ancestors, was always the spring season, which is also the Pisces month, right? Now, the spring season in the northern hemisphere, in Nigeria where you are, happens in March. But at that time, for South Africa, that is the end of winter, which is hibernation, right? And then for us, let me finish.
You are assuming when you say March in Nigeria, you assumed that the spring season in Nigeria starts from July. That is where people start clearing the bushes and getting ready for planting. July.
So when is your summer in Nigeria?
When you say March in Nigeria, you are assuming.
When is your summer in Nigeria?
Wait, let me correct you something. How many seasons do we have in each ages?
No, but you're just gonna divert now from the point I was trying to make. I'm not diverting.
I'm asking you an
maybe
important.
I used Nigeria, which is maybe related to our season.
I've corrected that already.
I don't know if Nigeria it falls like in the southern hemisphere. Okay.
I've listened to you.
Give me a chance to finish. Give me a chance to finish first. Then you're gonna tackle the whole point.
Yeah.
Because when you interject, then you divert me to where I was not even going. Nigeria was an example of mine, and here's an assumption. I don't live in Nigeria.
Himself, just give her a chance to finish.
When you mention,
let her just bring out the knowledge.
Hang on, Toski.
No,
Broski,
no, no.
hang
I
on.
know, but
Hang on.
when you mention Nigeria as an example and you're not getting it right, I must correct this assumption because people are listening. You mentioned two
Okay, so fine.
seasons.
So
Yeah.
maybe
And I
let me
ask you,
go.
how many seasons do
Yeah.
we have in each age? You said Africa don't use calendar. Yes, the purpose of
Okay,
calendar
wait.
was introduced because of slavery.
Maybe
So
let me not use
during the
Nigeria then.
no,
I
you
was
don't
just
have to use
making
Nigeria
an
because Nigeria is
argument.
not even
Let me not use
descent
that.
with the
Let me finish
expression
my
of your
point
hemisphere.
then.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Wait, I don't know about Nigeria. I just used it because I think it's in the north and we are in the
No,
south.
no, no.
Maybe
You're
let
not
me use
supposed to
Russia
use
because they are
what
in the
you're not
far north and
sure
we are in the
of.
far south.
People are listening here. You're not supposed to use what you're not sure of. Use the one you know, which is your place,
Then
as
I
you are
apologize.
explaining. And I'm listening. I'm listening to you. That is why I said there is something you are missing.
Zamuzi, you
But
talk
Shaman,
about
let
your
me make my
place. You
point.
don't talk about other places. You understand? That
Let
is
me
where
make my
you guys are
point.
getting it all wrong. You
Maya, go ahead.
understand?
Go
You
ahead.
learn to
No,
talk
but
about
guys,
your place because
listen.
it's only your
Give me a
reality.
chance
You
to
learn to
explain
talk about
myself.
only your reality. Don't talk about other realities. You understand?
Give me
That
my
is where we are getting it
give me
all
a
wrong.
chance to
You
make my
understand?
point.
Go
No, we
ahead.
are
Go
giving
ahead.
you a chance. You understand? When we give you a chance, you can
Give me
make
a
your
chance to
point.
make my
But we
point.
want to correct you so
Make my
that
point
you
though. I
can get
wasn't making
when.
an example. Give me a chance. Yes.
All right, go on,
Please,
go on, go
please,
on.
Zamankule.
I accept the correction. Now give me a chance.
Please just calm down with the energy. You're not fighting with anyone. We are here to learn.
We are not fighting. You are learning, so you learn. You
You're
understand?
expressing aggressively. So please just calm down,
Yeah.
I
breathe in,
know,
breathe
but
Calm
I'm just
out.
down.
We are
saying,
listening.
let me finish my point.
Go ahead and finish. But if you make
I'm
another mistake,
not.
I
I'm
will
just saying,
jump
let me
in
finish
and
my
correct you.
point so you guys don't also
Go ahead.
misunderstand me. Let me finish my point.
Go ahead.
Just go ahead with your point.
Wait, so now mention it. Let me finish, don't please. So then I was giving an example of South Africa as a South. So now I'm saying it's fine. Let me use South. I'll use then the example of the opposites, maybe being Russia or Europe, where I was trying to say that when South Africa is in summer, Europe is in winter. We are the total opposite. So
We are not
Europe
even
right
in the
now, and
same. We
anyone
are
who's in
not
the northern
even in the
hemisphere
same.
is going through beginning of. I didn't say that. Let me make my point. Don't take example and make a point. I have not reached my point now. I'm narrating
Go ahead.
to
Nobody is
you.
stopping you from making your point. I'm just making it clear that
It's
we
narration.
and
Let me make
Europe.
and then you understand where I was coming from.
Go ahead.
But that's not point. It's a narration. Let me get to the gist of it, and then you understand why I'm using that analogy.
Your network is breaking.
So if somebody is in the northern hemisphere and I am in South Africa, born in September, somebody who is a Pisces who is born in Europe, that person is born in the month of March, which is the month of spring in Europe, and the rest of us got the whole star sign stuff from
You're
the
welcome,
European
Fanito. It's
market.
been a while.
Not that we did not bow or we have, but whoever then brought them to us not actually explain it, see it out there and see it happen in the opposites. Who is in South Africa and born in September is actually a Pisces as well, because that's when spring happens in the southern hemisphere. So it's the opposite. It's the yin and yang, right? But before before I actually mentioned that, my point that I was trying to make is that if the year in South Africa begins with the spring, with the nature beginning to renew itself, and we are renewing ourselves, right, which is September, and we are trying to use the 28-month cycle. So let's say now the Gregorian calendar has 30 days in September. So if I'm trying to calculate for somebody their correct 28-day cycle born in January, I must start eliminating all these extra days of each and every month leading to January, not only the 3 extra days in January. Because if I eliminate from the first month, September, 2 days, I'm left with 28 days, done. But when I now start October, I'm already starting with a surplus of 2 days, which means in actual fact, October is now going to be only taking 26 days to make the next cycle of the month. Now, the remainder of October of 5 days brings a surplus of 5 days into November, meaning November we're only taking 25 days, right? Surplus of 3 days, of 6 days now, November, will then go into December, which means December we're only taking an amount of 22 days, right? If you do that cycle, it means that by the time you reach January 28th is not actually January 28th in that January. It means that January 28th might be January 20th. You get what I'm saying? So the reason why I was saying that is because you said my birthday 5 September, just minus 2 and land on 3 September. That cannot be correct. It means we must maybe my according to this cycle that you are enlightening us with, maybe my actual day of birth is probably the 25th if we started eliminating all these extra days from the month of January, or whichever way you're going. Okay, in fact, it doesn't matter which month you actually start with, as long as you keep eliminating and making each and every month 28 days, you may just find that the actual date of birth, which is the Gregorian calendar, is not the actual date of birth, realistically speaking. You know, so tracking it from the date of birth of this Gregorian calendar will then put us in a very confusing situation. You know, maybe you can try and explain it to us, Shaman, in a way that if today is my first day of my period, it means that I started ovulating 15 days ago. Because remember, ovulation starts 15 days before you actually see the blood happening. And the cycle goes on and on and on. And according to your emotions and how you're feeling, your stress levels, how you're eating, then the ovulation can be delayed and your period can be late. But it doesn't so much mean that your cycle has now changed, like you explained it to me earlier, which makes a lot of sense. So reason why I asked my question earlier to say, how do we calculate the cycle where this secretion has now gone back to your top chakra, and you can wait the 3 days for it to be dead, and then sit and meditate and make sure that it goes to the right places of your spirituality, or you utilize them to your base level. I said, can we try calculating them from the first day of a woman bleeding? Because that will make it easy for all of us to then know that if I want to start next month to notice these things and do celibacy and like take advantage of them, then how do I calculate? Thank you.
Thank you. Like I said before, how many seasons do we have in one ages? Zaman Kule, you don't need to off your speaker. We are in here together. Just let me know how many seasons do we have one ages?
I just turn it off. I turn it off so that people can hear you better. When we turn off our own speakers, then our noises are totally shut. Even though I'm in a very quiet place, so it should be fine.
Your side is very clear.
Yeah, so I don't know how many seasons. Yeah, so I don't know truly how many seasons we We
You
hate.
people.
We all go by what is in the mainstream basically, and we are here to learn and know things
So
better.
what you're saying is you have used the European method to explain all this.
Yes, which is what is common from the calendar to the name of the seasons, even. So.
Do you know that? Do you know that? Like you rightly mentioned, you said Africa don't have years. We don't calculate in years, and I told you there is a method for that. The years started because of slavery. That is not who we are. We don't count, but we know we count the rising of the sun. That is why we have 4 days. So you are already mistaking it when you are even using the European as an example of your northern hemisphere. Here in Nigeria, we have 4 seasons: Ududuru, Udummiri, Okochi, na Okogoro. These 4 seasons are in our local calendar. So we use ages. So how do we count the ages? We use the moon, the sun, to count the seasons. So we have 28 days in one full moon, and we have 4 days in a week, and 7 weeks in 28 days before full moon. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
So if we have 4 days and we have 7 weeks in one full moon, then we have 10 moons in one season. What do you think? I mean,
then it's not
in
relatable
Nigeria here,
to the years, obviously. And
let me
I'm making
break it down.
examples
Like I
of what
said,
we've
we
been
don't have
using
years.
so that you can take us to the right way.
That is where I'm going. We don't have years in Africa. So to get one season, that is why I said season. I didn't say years. You're not listening. I said season.
And
in order
also
for you
season,
to get one season,
remember,
it takes 10 full months to get one season.
Okay. So,
and now, if you're talking about the northern hemisphere, let me give you an example of Nigeria here. Nigeria here, we have the same season. Even when we have the same season, some part of Nigeria have different expression of that. If you look at Jos, if you go to Jos, you will feel like it's different. In fact, you feel like being in Jos is like being in the northern hemisphere of South Africa. So if you have ever visited Jos, you will have the same experience you will have when you are in South Africa. So because they are in Nigeria and in northern part of Nigeria, no, southern, is it south or not? Northern middle belt, I think. Middle of Nigeria.
Okay.
And they are having this kind of experience. What do you think causes that? That is because they are in the mountain. See, a lot of all this knowledge given to us was called divide and rule. When you think you're not having the same expression with your brother, naturally you will feel you're different from him. You are in the northern hemisphere because your land is filled.
Wait,
let me finish. Your land is filled with mountains, stones. So you will experience it differently there. That doesn't mean you are in another season. You are in the same season, but having a different expression of the season. Why? Because you're closer to the equator. Why? Because of the mountains you have and the stones. So whoever is in the mountain or the stones will have what? A cool weather and very cold experience and different thing within their own region. That doesn't mean you're different from any other person in Africa. In fact, there is nothing like South Africa. We are all Africans. But
No, I
because
get
you're
that.
having
So
different
now,
yes. Mm.
yeah. So now, when it comes to the sun itself, right? You
Mm.
know,
Mm.
in June, the sun is said to be coming back to our side. That's when the cold goes
Mm.
away and it starts getting warm and it starts being high summer. It's very hot. During that
Mm.
time, the people who are further north, they're having snow and it's winter. What we're having, right? So for me, when
Mm.
I mentioned the opposites, that's what I meant. And when I say seasons, for us, we are taught to know that seasons are spring, summer, autumn, winter. Obviously, every African has their own way in their
Mm.
language to explain them. In our
Mm.
Zulu language, it's basically called ubusika is winter, and then ihlobo is summer. Then we have
Which
twasa
which
between the two. Twasa
which
hlobo
month
and
which
twasa
month do
twasa
you start
busika, meaning
harvesting?
transition.
When do
We
you
start
start harvesting?
harvesting. We start harvesting around December, January, February.
Okay. Here
We
we are
plant.
we are
We
earlier.
plant
We are
in
earlier.
July.
Mm.
We
Mm-hmm.
plant in July, August, then we start seeing things
Mm-hmm.
bloom. The nature around us will be blooming that time. Right now
So
in
by,
South
by by
Africa,
December you are
trees are
harvesting.
getting dry. Yes, right now trees are getting dry. They're gonna start falling
Mm-hmm.
off, so it's winter. The
Okay.
sun is now coming, is now going from us. And according to our ancestors, this was the time for hibernation. And whatever you have harvested, you now put to the
Mm.
ground to make sure that since the plants will be dry, you have food to eat until the sun starts coming back and we can still plant again and have food.
Eze
But
Komkom, that
now,
is what I'm trying to make her understand, but she's far from it. I'm doing
no, I'm
fine
not
at
far.
Ashanti TV.
Don't get me wrong.
Okay, wait,
Don't
wait,
get
wait.
me
Let me
wrong.
talk now.
Bear in mind that
Let me talk.
you
I don't
are
get you
you
wrong.
are knowledgeable
I
about
don't
it,
get.
but we are not
No,
all
I don't get
fortunate.
you wrong.
And
But you are.
when I'm raising this thing
Mm,
that I know, and then I keep saying our ancestors. That's the ones who are
mm,
knowledgeable like you. But remember, it is
mm.
lost with our generation. So when I mention
I'm
what
not saying.
we
I'm not
know
saying
and
I'm
the
knowledgeable. A
confusion
fool like me, I don't know anything.
and
But
the
you have to
confusion
listening.
which
You
was
have
brought
been
to
when
us.
you talk. When you talk, listen, Zamakule. Listen, please. If you harvest in December, when did you plant? Let's have a conversation. When did you
It
plant?
depends on what crop it is. Some crops mature in
Okay.
6 months, some in 2 months, some they mature in one
Okay.
year. So that's why I
So
say
when
from
when actually those early crops is what we use to determine the new year and the harvesting period. So the
yes. So we
planting
plant
period
in
here
June,
in
July, August,
mm,
at the end of the winter.
okay, June, July, August,
Yes, end of
and
the winter. Yes.
September too, right?
Yes, we can still plant in September,
Do you know that here in Nigeria we start planting June, July, August, and even September?
which
There
is
are
fine.
people in this same
Mm.
region in Nigeria who does not have the rain visit them early, so they start planting ending of August and September. So how is that different from you? We start harvesting by
I didn't say it's different.
some people. No, you
I
expressed
don't
it
know Nigeria.
differently.
I cannot make that.
Okay,
No,
but
I
I'm
cannot say
telling
that.
you now that is no different. So we harvest. Some people harvest their corn 2 times before December. Some people harvest only once. So once
So
we
it
enter
means that we are in
September,
the
some
same
people are,
hemisphere then.
but different experience because you are in the mountain. I've been saying it. Even in Nigeria here, people who live in the mountain, they have different experience of what nature is to them. So it's not the same.
That's why I
Okay,
said to you earlier, maybe I made
we
a
have
mistake of using Nigeria because I thought it's the opposite. Maybe I should have used far
no.
north,
It's not the
which is
opposite.
Europe.
It's just that we have different experience of it. But that doesn't mean it's changing. Your own, you feel it like it's changing or is visiting you late because why? You are on the mountain. You're closer. Do you know how many mountains are
It's
in
not
the
visiting late,
southern
but
Africa?
when it's summer in the south, it's winter in the north. When it's winter in the north, it's summer in the south. That's what I was trying to explain.
Do you know that some
Not that
places
we
in
are
Nigeria
experiencing different seasons.
ending
The sun does leave us
we are
and come
saying the
back.
same thing, different experience. Your experience there is different. Why? Because of the nature of your land. You are on the mountain. We are not. Even some people here in Nigeria, some places that are on the mountain, they have the same experience with you people. I use Jos as an example. Jos is closer. I think
No,
my
which is
brother
funny, but
Will
it was not
stays
even
in
my
Jos.
point, to be honest.
So
Because I can't speak for
your
Nigeria,
point
but
is the
I can
calculation
speak for the
itself.
differences in the weather and in the
Let's
seasons for the north and
Zamakole,
the
let's
south.
go back. Let's go to your point so that you will understand. If you want to calculate and know the real date, use 4 days.
Yes, because you keep dwelling on the part where I was just making a mere example. I was trying to make an example of opposite seasons because of the northern hemisphere and the south. I wasn't so much saying that Nigeria
Uturu
and
is
South
like that
Africa
too.
is different at some points, therefore we are in different regions. I
That
wasn't
everything they
saying that
told you
because I
about
don't
Africa
know
is to create,
about Nigeria.
divide and rule. Everything they told you different about Africa is to create, divide and rule. Come to Uturu. Yes, my brother,
But I did not even say that it was different though.
No, it's not different. I told my brother Black Root
It's
Science
not.
here
I
the
didn't
other
even say
day.
different. I was just trying to
We talked
mention to you
about it, and
the
I told
differences
him
in
is
seasons and the differences in the
you
Pisces
have
era happening in
Mm.
Europe, but in the further south, it will happen only in September. That's what I was trying to explain. Maybe I used Nigeria because I thought
we
that since
have
it's
the
there in
same.
the north, I thought you guys fall in the north. So now let's
No,
take it back.
we have the
Let's
same
forget
season,
Nigeria
but different
and South Africa
expression.
comparison.
Different
Let's
expression.
use
Yes.
far up. Yeah. So for this argument, forget about Nigeria. Let's use far north
I'm not
and let's
arguing
use
with
far
you.
south, which is my country. Right now
I'm
I
not.
live
I'm not.
right now
Listen,
I
I'm
live
not
in the
arguing
northern
with you.
hemisphere. Right now we are at the end of winter. I know. I'm not either.
You're not.
So
See, when you're having a
right now I
conversation,
am in
you're
the
not
northern
listening.
hemisphere and right now it's the end of winter. Oh, okay. Let me listen then. I was
Here,
just
what we
correcting to
have
say,
here,
stop mentioning
what we
Nigeria
hear.
comparison to SA. You've already schooled me to say Nigeria and SA is the same. So I'm saying okay. I'm not saying they're different. I
There
think
is
you're
something you're
misunderstanding.
missing. You're not paying attention to it. What your question was the period. And if you want to get the period, what do? You get 4 days. It's 4 days. Eke ori afo nkwo. And all those 4 days is the same thing with your elements. So I said, if you know the 4 days, I've been saying it here. If you know the 4 days, use it to calculate the 28 days because all the moons are 28 days. So in order to get your true month, you use 4 days as a week instead of 7 weeks. 7 days in a week. So you use 7 weeks for 28 days, which is one full moon. You have been on this program for a very long time. So a lot of you are in South Africa and you think it's different because you're having a different experience. Why? Because you are in the mountain. Now you come to Nigeria, there are other people who have the same experience like you here in Nigeria because they are also in the mountain and rocks. What there don't you understand? We have been saying the same thing. And you're the one arguing. I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you what I know is true. If you want to find about it, come here in Nigeria and you see. I'll take you to Jos. Even Uturu, which is very close to me here, they are in the mountain. So whoever is in the mountain in this Africa will have a different experience from your brothers. And I told you that whatever you've been told about this knowledge is a lie. that was used to divide us. That is called divide and rule. What don't you understand? We are making the same point. You are even... Listen, let me finish.
I didn't say we're different.
You deviated. No, you said
I didn't say
we're
different. You keep saying we think we're different. No.
No, you said we are
didn't.
different. In the beginning, you said just like Nigeria, who are experiencing a different thing in the season, is what you said before I corrected
you. And I said I may have made a mistake. Nigeria. I should have used Euro.
That was a mistake.
So then why would you keep saying Euro, that I think it's different?
You just said now that you didn't say so. You just said now you're contradicting yourself.
I didn't say that to say we are different. I said it to try
and people are here from
make an example of opposite poles, north and south. And I said, maybe you guys fall in the same one as us then. Let me go further up to Europe. It was a mistake and I admitted that. So why do you keep going back to it?
We are the same but different experience. So just
then
because you are in the mountain
and I said, let's go back to the opposites then. Then let's use Europe and South Africa, because I'm trying to explain the differences.
I don't even want to use Europe because they are not the same with us. I just gave you a direct example of it. Is it everywhere in South Africa that experiences snow?
But my point was trying to explain different seasons.
Let me give you an example of Lesotho. Why is Lesotho having different experience of the weather with Zulu people? Have you ever gone to Lesotho?
But that was not even my point. My point I was making was different seasons at the same time.
You're not having different seasons at the same time. You're having different experiences in the same season. Just because you're experiencing it different doesn't mean it's not the same
with Europe
season.
And South Africa.
I'm not talking about Europe. Who is talking about Europe? I'm talking about Africa. Everything I talk about here is Africa. I don't bring Europe here. Yes, different location, different experience. That doesn't mean it's different season.
Then you're talking about different things then, because I was
we are not talking about different things. I just asked you a question. Lesotho and Zulu, do they Blackroot, please? Lesotho and Zulu,
but that
do
was
they
not
have
my
the same
argument.
Experience?
So how can you pose me the question?
Please do not use Europe to relate to us, please.
I don't know about Lesotho either.
You don't know about Lesotho?
But I'm not using it to relate. I was saying.
Good morning.
I was not using it to relate. Maybe let's take out the names of the countries or continents. Let's say North Pole and South Pole. Let's take out South Africa. Let's take out Nigeria. Let's take out Europe. Let's say North Pole and South Pole. When it's winter in the North Pole, it is summer in the South Pole.
Please,
that was what my argument was. I wasn't saying we are different or Lesotho is different experiences at the same time. I was not there.
You. Why do black people always talk about studies like this? We say is arguing. Who is arguing?
I'm not also arguing with you.
Please. I'm telling you the truth of what I know. You stand up and make your research. When you make research, you understand.
I agree with you.
We are Africans. Don't bring Europeans into my program, please. We are one people.
All learning,
but I was making a difference with the North Poles and South Poles.
You are not making poles. You are not making. You're contradicting yourself. You're not listening. We are making the same point. You're not even listening.
I don't know it all. I was asking you questions and using the North and the South with different weather at the same time. I was asking you questions. I don't know anything. I'm here to learn.
There is nothing like Northern Africa. There is nothing like Southern Africa. There is nothing like Eastern Africa. There's nothing like West Africa. We are one Africa, one people, one experience of nature. If you're having a different experience, that is because you're closer to the equator, which means you are on the mountain. You have stones on your environment. That is what makes your nature different from us. And I gave you an example. Here in Nigeria, we have some states, some places that are different with their nature, the way they experience it. Why? Because they are also in the mountain. So you have been deceived about all these things to make you look different from your people. That is why you easily jumped into Europe. It's not different. It's not different.
Please, Zamon,
Yeah,
mute
but I
your
wasn't
mic.
saying it's different.
Yes,
You are on a different argument, which I was not even about. So I was just making a difference with
You
North
were
and
talking
South.
about
That's
the
all.
period. Do you understand what I said about your circle? Do you understand that?
And made an example of the North and South. Now you are taking me to other topics which I have nothing to do with. Yes, I'm aware
Zamon,
that
you make
we are taught
question. You
something
don't
that is
even
different.
listen to your
Hang on,
question. You
Elizabeth.
don't
Hang on.
listen.
Hang
She
on,
doesn't
Elizabeth. Hang
listen.
on.
She doesn't
I am
listen
aware.
No,
to
she
her
only
question.
I
asks
am aware.
questions. She
I am
doesn't pay
aware that
attention.
we are
She don't
taught the wrong
That
listen.
is
things. And
it's
How
terrible.
can you learn?
I
You
am
only
aware
ask
that we are taught the wrong
questions.
things. I don't dispute
Please,
that, right? When I come here, I am asking questions. I don't say
you
I
ask
know.
Zamakule,
and you are not
Zamakule,
listening.
listen to this. You said, how do we calculate these circles from the date of first period, for example? Will you please continue the topic when when he is done? And I explain it to you. I've done that right now. Do you know it? Can you say, yes, this is what I've gotten from what I explained about that? You are
Yes,
just
I did
listening to
understand that
yourself.
part.
You're not listening.
You just
Do you understand?
took the
So how do
argument to
you?
somewhere else, and I keep saying, but that's not my
No, no,
point.
no, no. You took your question to something else. I did not take
You
your question
disturbed
to
it
another
when I was
place.
making a point and made your own analogy.
Did you
Therefore, we
just hear
lost the
what I read?
understanding.
Did you
It's
hear
you
what I
that is
read?
not making a point. You
The
only ask
explanation I did
questions, but you
here,
don't
and
listen
thank you for the
to the
knowledge. I think it's time for me to
explanation.
calm down now, and I can let others ask the questions. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
You asked
I'm very
how to
sorry for that
calculate your
because
period. From your period, you moved to something else entirely. And I'm trying to explain to you what it means. You don't even want to listen. You don't want to listen at
please, sir,
all.
ex- please,
Go
sir,
ahead.
explain it to us because we were down and we did not listen to, we did not hear what you said because she was shouting and talking and we couldn't hear you. Please, can you explain
Okay,
it again?
okay. Now it's like this. We have 4 seasons in every age. In Africa, we don't have years. And she directly mentioned that, which is truth. We don't have years. And when you come out of that, we have what? Ages. That is why in Igbo we call it Afo. Afo means ages, it doesn't mean years. Now, within that age, we have 2 seasons in one age. That is why it's circles. So when you move into another age, we have 2 seasons into that age also. Now, in all ages, it doesn't start from September. Our new year starts from March because we celebrate the ending of harvesting. All the African people who are directly in the Nigerian part finish the celebration of their new harvest ending of November. Now, other part of South Africa, other part of Africa do that within the end of December. It is like that because the raising season that helps to plant and all that comes late to them. Why? Because they are in the mountain. They are in the mountain. You are in the mountain. That is why your experience of these seasons is different. It's not directly regulated like the others. So I gave example. When you come to Uturu in Nigeria and you go to Jos, these 2 places are in the mountain and their seasons are different. Their planting seasons are different from others. Now you go to some place like Abo local government, Abo in Delta State. you will also notice that they have 2 planting seasons within the year. So imagine they start from June, they plant, and they are already harvesting before by the middle of September. And they plant again by September, they will harvest again by December. You see the difference? Just one people in the same country, they are harvesting 2 times in one season. There are also people in this Nigeria, even in December, they will have rain. Some people in December no longer rain, no rain again. So by January, they are not having rain. But there are people in this the same country of us, here in Nigeria, in January, February, they are having rain. Now, I told you, if you want to calculate your period as a woman, you have to use the 4 days a week and 7 weeks in full moon. So if you're using that properly, that means within your period will just be the 21 days. And the external space you have will be what? Will be 7 before the full moon. So if it takes you 14 days to see your period, how many days does it take you to see the ovulation? It still centers in the full moon. So if your own is not directly coming the way it should be, it's either you have hormonal imbalance or you are miscalculating your original birth, because it's directly connected to your birthday. Zamankule, nobody is attacking you. This is a program. If you come up to this program, please, when you talk, we are having a conversation. When you talk, you'd be receptive to understand what we are saying here. You know, just because you are there having another experience doesn't make you different from us. You are no different from anyone in Africa. We are all one Africa. And that knowledge of you saying you are South African is evil. Yes, that is the reason we are divided as an African people. We are one people. The language you speak was created by your ancestors for a reason. Why? Because of the betrayal we are having within. That is why you have tribal mark. It's for identification of a people. It is because of the betrayal we had, we no longer speak one language. Remember in the Bible, when the Holy Ghost fell upon them and they were elevated, they spoke one language. They built a nation. And suddenly the enemy came, divided them. What happened? The building stops. They started speaking different languages. Africa is divided because of our language. Some people say they are the Bantu. Some people say this one is not the Bantu. We are all Bantu if you know the original meaning of Bantu. Zamankule, please, when you talk, listen to yourself, you know. Listening to yourself is very, very important. So to round up this program, I will have to go now. What I was talking here is how to create, how to become God. So in order for you to become God, you must know your birthday. Your birthday in every month. Every month. So if you don't know your birthday, like Elizabeth, just contact me in WhatsApp. We'll work that up. We'll walk about that and we'll find it out. Zamankule, you're my sister. Nobody's angry with you. Nobody is fighting you. You understand? We are not fighting you. But if you speak from yourself, you must also listen to yourself. Don't bring European to us. They have a different world. We are the paradise for a reason. So our nature is different from them. So in order to become God, you must know when this Son of Man rises, which is your secretion. And this knowledge of this secretion is everything that we have been told in the book of Dead, the book of Enoch, the book of Egyptian book of the dead, and all of those books. is about the waters. If you hear the Kemet speak about the waters rising, the waters is the juice of a woman and the sperm of a man. So in order for us to become a god, we must allow it to be crucified. It is very, very important to apply this principle. If you're not applying it, you're just meditating for nothing. So if you're channeling yourself, you're channeling because there is something you need to rise. So in order for you to get your true date of birth, the whole month is 28 days. So what you do, how do you do it? You reduce the what? You reduce the weeks to 4 days. And then you increase the weeks to 7 weeks. The 7 weeks signifies the chakras. So we have 7 weeks. Why? Because the sun rises and returns to each of the chakras 7 times in a full moon. So before full moon, the sun is already visited the chakras 7 times. That is how you get the actual period. So some of us are calculating into the 31st, into the 30th, into the 29th. What do you think? If you're in the month of 28 days and your period comes on the 22nd or on the 21st, you know, it's early. It's okay like that. If it comes before 21st. Now you go to a month that is 30 or 31st, it moves into 24th or 25th. It happened because of the extension of the months. So you see, when you step out of February, March, all of those months, your period will come differently. It wouldn't be the same. You know? So even when you think it's just the Gregorian calendar, it's also affecting the seasons because the way they positioned the seasons is wrong, is not correct. So when your body moves from this one to another, your body will experience hormonal imbalance because naturally the calendar is imbalanced. So it's either your hormone is affected or is the dates. That is your question, Zamankole. I think is answered. So that was your question. That is the question you asked me. So in order to identify the original date of your birth, reduce the days, the week into 4 days. Then increase the weeks to 7. You know, the white people are not stupid. The people who programmed us, they are not stupid. This is simple. This is what they just did. They created 4 weeks. So the original weeks is actually 7. So they reduced it to what? 4 weeks. So when they reduced it to 4 weeks, they increased the days in a week to 7. Because they know if it's not like that, we will know that it's a lie. It cannot be 4 weeks in full moon. It's 7. Thank you, Ashanti. It's 7 weeks. So each of that 7 weeks makes 28 days. And when we count the days, we count fire, we count water. It starts with fire. So if you go to this season, it starts with fire, you know, followed by water. Because after the hammer time, we move into the Udummiri, which is the rainy season. We start to plant. So as within, so without. So as with the soul, so the universe. We have this experience. We are seasonal. So a woman directly explains that. Yes, Vivi. All the monks is not original. I'm just telling you the original way to count it, because it is from the rising of the sun you get what? You get one full day. Each rising of the sun gives you one full day. You know, so each passing of the shapes of the moons gives you the weeks. So it's 4 days. Why? Because the sun circulates within the elemental force, which is fire, water, earth, and air within us. So it's directly related to the chakras, starting from the seat of Aries, which is the head, controlled by the crown. So where is the head sitting on? The head is sitting on Taurus. That is how you count it, from Aries to Taurus, from the crown to the throat. It's all the seat of Aries. So nature is an expression of us too. So what you're seeing in the outer universe, you're seeing it because it's existing within your inner universe. So everything the Europeans told us is not to give us a good knowledge, is actually to remove us from the real knowledge. Yes, we are always calculating and excluding the other energies. We always exclude the moon. Why? Because what did they do? They allowed the sun to stay correct by moving the movement of the sun, which is supposed to be 4 days, into the weeks, and then they moved the movement of the moon, which is supposed to be the weeks, which is the chakra. They moved it to what? They moved it to 7 days. So if you calculate according to the Gregorian calendar or the Western calendar, you are still missing it. So Zamankule started with the right knowledge, which is Africa do not have calendar. That was her first statement, and I loved that. So when you move out of that knowledge, you will mistake every other thing, because it's correctly aligned for a reason. Why? Because there is something your body is elevating. So if that elevation is not happening, or you do not have the knowledge that your body is elevating something, you are meditating wrongly, you're channeling yourself wrongly. So everything you know about spirituality is wrong, because it's not in alignment with yourself. So the expression of that child, which is Heru, is in alignment with you, inner self. So what we don't know is that the God we have not been told is what? Your juice as a woman. That is what makes you seasonal. They will not teach it in school, because the school is not important. The school is used to program you. Why? Because the school will teach you the things you can actually Google at this moment to learn, which means it's not important. They know it. So the school is actually to get you in the programming. Why? Because you have to start working. So when you work, they use you for 30 years. When you're old, they dump you. So they didn't dump you because they don't need you. No, they dumped you because you are weak. You're no longer active the way you should be. So they will leave you. They call it retirement. So they place you on what? Pension. Why? This is to remove us from actually realizing the inner self, which is the true purpose we have come to serve. The true purpose we have come to serve is to understand ourselves. Had it been this knowledge was given to us from childhood, how to elevate Christ and become the God of creativity. All the billionaires you see, they apply this knowledge. They are rising something. They don't meditate for nothing. If you don't know it today. All those people you see manifesting their dreams and everything, that is because they have a knowledge you don't have. That is why in the Bible they said everybody is meant to be rich. You are meant to be rich, yes, but why is everybody not rich? Because the knowledge is for the few. You have to meditate the day the sun visits your rising element. So within the 4 elements, there is an element that is sitting above all other elements. So if you know the element and you know the day the sun aligns with the element, that is when you should meditate, you know. Now again, if you want to meditate and to channel yourself to the inner consciousness, which is the God, you have to be doing it by moving this sperm from your solar plexus up to the head. Zamankula is saying, are there books you can refer us for thorough learning of our true nature and seasons? The only book ever written and greatest book ever is the one you carry within yourself. If you don't have the ability to understand this book, there is no other book that can teach you. The only thing you need is the true knowledge of self in order to apply this book. And I'm telling you now to activate. Why? Because a normal person will ask me for books. Why? Because all our life we've been referred to books. So they tell you you read books in order for you to become a millionaire. And you don't ask yourself, which books are they talking about? When they tell you that the secret of becoming a billionaire is when you read books, what are you reading? I mean, there are different types of books. And if the greatest book ever written dwells within you, why do you rely on expression or idea of another person, of his experience, written down for your elevation? Our ancestors didn't leave this knowledge in a book. They left it on a stone. Why? Because they know it cannot be erased or falsified. So what you're reading in a book is falsified. And what I'm explaining to you is the symbols, the allegory, the 9 river language, the insipidity of all the hieroglyphics you see on Egyptian stones. The process, the stage by stage. And know it today. Everything you see on the Egyptian stone is talking about the human nature and anatomy. That is why the Bible is an expression of the human body parts. So when you look at the stones in Egypt, it is there because it cannot be falsified. They can add to it and they can remove it. So the only thing they can do is break the nose of our ancestors, because genetically our nose is the same. So they break the nose and falsify it because they know that the Egyptians occupying the land are not the original people. So even when a white Egyptian is telling you about this knowledge, they are also hiding something. What are they hiding? In the Egyptian text, they call it what? They call it the waters of all waters, the holy of all holies. So what is the holy of all holies? I said in this program, no allegory. The holy of all holies is the sperm and the juice you use when you're being aroused as a woman. When a woman is sexually aroused, what does she do? The body naturally waters the part. So that water you're using to water, thank you Elizabeth, you're using to water the part is what? It's something you should be using to create the child within, which is the expression of the wise witch. So if you're not creating this, you can never express yourself to your highest potential. You will only dwell in what? Hell. That is why people are suffering and smiling. Why they are in hell, they are hoping for heaven. Because of the kind of knowledge they have been given. So I'm telling you today, what you call God is your sperm and your juice as a woman. That is God. There is no other God except that. That is the highest consciousness. When you talk about consciousness, you need to look at your sperm and your juice. If you can use it to create, why not use it to create abundant within you? When people tell you you are the greatest God ever lived, you are the omnipotent, omniscience, omnipresent. That is because there is something within you you don't know about. And this is the same reason it is hidden. It's called secretion. The word secret comes from secretion. It's a secretion because it's a secret. It's hidden. That is why this same knowledge is only given to people in an occult. So when you find this knowledge for free, grab it while you can. What you're calling God in heaven is something, a secretion that dwells within you. And you see it as a span because you are using it wrongly. When you pour it and see it with your eyes, you are using it wrongly. Hello, Ndidi. You're welcome, Ndidi. It's noisy where you are.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. It's noisy where you are. I'm hearing a lot of static noise. I can even... Yes, it's called Christos oil. And that Christos oil is not in the sperm form. It has to be titrated, like I said before. Ndidi, something is playing on your background. It's noisy.
Okay,
You're playing.
I'm offing it.
Please, I'm using earpiece. It's hurting my head.
Yes, me too. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm good now.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome to Collective Enlightenment.
Thank you.
Do you have a question for us or something?
I just want clarity. I just want you to talk to me if there's any message you have for me. That's I want
message,
clarity. I want enlightenment.
What kind of clarity? When you say message, do you mean prophecy?
Yes.
To see prophecy for you?
Yes.
Our mental is being programmed to rely on prophecy because we have been programmed to think that it is the path and way of eternal life. But I just told you the greatest knowledge, if applied to yourself, you can use it to see anything. But you don't value it because I'm not prophesying. That is why I have few people here.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. But I can as well. Wow, network suck.
If I had a call came in. This African mentality, because we have been made to value prophecy. Yes. Right. So even though I have a prophecy, I will not tell you that because I'm telling you the most important thing you should use to shape your life.
Yes.
So what I'm telling you is even more important than the prophecy. Because if you apply it well, you can be elevated.
Yes. You're right.
So if you have been having sexual intercourse, do you prefer to use it for civilization or to create civilization within yourself? Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Marty. I mean, you have two choices, you know. So you can check all your life all the time you have been engaging in sexual intercourse and you have been wasting this secretion. So you will naturally know why you will look for visions. I don't give visions. I will never give you vision. If you want to, if you want me to see in your life, you pay for consultation.
Okay.
At least that will allow you to work on yourself, to see for yourself. At least when you see for yourself, you no longer need me.
Yes, you're right.
Yes, the truth carried burdens because it triggers you. It's not what everybody want to hear. People love to be told what they want to hear.
What they want
That is
to
why the pastors,
hear.
that is why religion, they are making money. Why? Because in your mind it has been fused.
Correct.
It has been infused in your mind that your neighbor is against you, your mother is against you, your brother is a witch, your sister is a witch. So with that mentality, you want vision to tell you who is against you now. Is it your mother or your brother?
Correct.
But you have the ability within yourself to see everything. And that is what I'm telling you. What makes you a god? What makes us a god? Is the juice you carry as a woman. You are the most powerful creature. Why? Because you're directly relative to nature itself.
Correct.
So if a man wants to have that knowledge, what do? You go close to a woman. A woman holds the key to eternal knowledge. Why? Because they are already expressing the universe at its natural form.
Okay.
When do you start counting the week? I don't understand.
I start on Sundays.
You start on Sundays. Naturally,
Yes,
Sunday
today
is supposed to be the natural fire day. But if you look at African calendar, it might not be today.
Okay.
Today might not be the Eke.
Okay. Oh, why network? I'm enjoying this conversation. Okay.
So today is the last day of the element, which is air.
Okay.
So it is going to move into the sun, which is original Sunday. The original Sunday is supposed to shift into tomorrow. Today is not the original Sunday. So according to African calendar, the original Sunday is supposed to move into it tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. Okay.
Do you understand now?
Yes, I do.
So if you want to start counting, your Sunday should be tomorrow, which is Eke, which is fire too. So after tomorrow is Monday, which is Moon Day. Moon, that word Monday was ascribed from the moon. It's supposed to be the moon day. Why today, Sunday, is supposed to be the day of the sun, which is the starting, which is the starting of the element which represents fire.
Okay.
So today is air, which is Afo. Tomorrow will be fire.
Okay.
So if you want to count it, you start from tomorrow, then 4 days. After 4 days, it moves back to fire.
Okay.
So it will do this 7 times in one full moon. That is your chakra. Your chakra is 7.
Okay.
So the sun, as the sun moves in 4 days within your element, it will visit it, your rising element. It will visit it 7 times in a month. That is the sun visiting from the root chakra, the throat chakra, the heart chakra, the solar, the sacral plexus, the solar plexus, and the root chakra. Okay. It's all in the African calendar.
Okay.
So
I'm a bit
You don't.
familiar with these things.
Okay,
I'm a
yes.
bit
If you know
familiar
the
with what you're
Eke
saying.
Orie Afo Nkwo, is you will know
Yeah.
it. Is the days within the week. So we have
Okay.
one Izuka. One Izuka is 4 days, which is 1 week.
Okay.
So the days is actually represented according to what they are, and also according to the 4 seasons within the ages.
Okay.
That is why we call it Ibafo. And Abafo, we do Ibafo because we have left from the planting seasons, we have received the harvesting seasons, and then we celebrate during the dry season in order to keep our produce to enable us farm in the next season. That is the story of the Egyptians in Egypt.
Okay.
During the season of Okogoro, things are dry, so you can't plant. You have to depend on your harvest to pass through that season.
Okay.
That is why they were told that this season is coming. They need to save up. So naturally in Africa, we know that we need to save up.
Okay.
So during the planting season, we plant, and after the planting season, what do? We keep the one for
We
eating,
reap.
we keep the one for sale, we keep the one for replanting.
For replanting. Yeah.
Yes, that is how we count.
Okay. Interesting.
So if you come to when an Igbo person say China Eke, the same thing the Yoruba people will call the Ori. When you say the Chi, we talk about the Eke. We know very well that there is no Chi without the Eke, because why? This secretion is elevated from the Eke, which is the solar plexus. The Eke is the solar plexus, and in medicine, the solar plexus is one of the most important area of the human body. So when this secretion is produced from the Eke, it moves into the spinal cord.
Okay.
So the spinal cord region is the movement, the ladder itself, which is the ladder of Jacob. So it moves into your chi and gets elevated. So the Eke is the seat of creation. That is why we call it China Eke. Why? Because the Eke produces what the chi elevates from.
Okay.
So if you even know this knowledge, thank you, Elizabeth. If you want to apply it, you must abstain from the physical engagement of sexual activities.
Both
It's
masturbation.
11:11. Thank you, ancestors. Yes.
Yeah.
If you're
I think,
masturbating, what did you think that the allegory of that man in Genesis who slept with his brother's wife but refused
his
to
brother's wife.
impregnate
Yeah.
her but poured his sperm
Yeah.
on the ground? That is him
On the ground.
masturbating. That is the allegory of masturbation. So instead of using the sperm to create, he decided to waste it even further. So he ate from the bread of life. That is why his life was shortened. He was not killed, but he shortened his lifespan. So retaining your sperm as a woman, retaining your egg can also give you long life. So if you think about our ancestors, you will realize that most of them, they died 200, 300. Why? Because they use sex as a purpose of civilization instead of pleasure, which means they have a time they engaged in it. There was time for everything, but now there is no longer time for everything. So as a man, if you want to engage in sex, it should be from your birthday till after full moon. So after full moon, before your birthday, you are free to engage. So who told you are free as a man to be mating all the time? That is also a wrong knowledge. You were given the knowledge of immorality. They preach against it in the Bible, but they release the knowledge of immorality. If you look at pornography, pornography is free. You can download it anytime. But the knowledge of self is not free. You cannot even stumble into the true knowledge. So if you see someone who is teaching the true knowledge of self, is either they are using allegory or then themselves are even confused. So if you want to refer God, you must know that you carry God because you have sperm. And as a woman, you carry God because you have your egg.
Okay.
So if you're using that ability to create self within, you're welcome, love lady. Yes, on your birthday is the day the sun rises within your moon sign. Your moon sign is your birth month. So the word month was taken from the moon. So when you say months, you're saying moons.
Okay.
Now you can from your original birth date up to full moon, because this secretion is created within you on your birthday, on every moon, not just on your birth month. They made us to understand to celebrate only our birth month. My birthday is coming up. You're celebrating it during your birth month, but you should be celebrating this in all the moons.
Please, what is moon? What is moon?
The moons is the month. When I say moon,
Okay.
you're talking about the months.
Okay. When you say
months.
full moon, when you say full
yes.
moon,
When you say one
what
month,
does it
you're
mean?
saying full moon. When you say one month, it means one full moon.
Full moon. Okay.
Like I said, the word month was taken from moon.
Okay.
So for us to get one full moon, we have 28 days, which is 1 month.
Yeah.
So this secretion will be bettered every day. If you were born on the 14th of the month, 14th of every month.
Okay.
So from 14th of every month till full moon, which is after the 28
Makes it
days.
a full moon. Okay.
Yes, till full moon.
Okay. I understand now.
We have 10 moons. We have 10 moons. We have 10 moons. Yes. December means Deka. Deka means 10. No, it's not even 12. Deka means, what you call December means 10.
Okay.
What you call November means 9.
So which of the months now is not useful? Which of the 2 months is not useful that makes it 10?
You mean January is not useful?
January.
January was ascribed from a Greek god or a Greek philosophy. January and February, even July, is not useful. Yes, July. Good Rise Christy. July is also inscribed from an Egyptian, a Greek god. Sorry.
Okay, July. Okay.
So in Igbo calendar, we have moon of Agu, we have moon of Ngene, we have moon of Anyanwu. You know, all the moons are different. So according to when the moon comes into, you know, so we have name for it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Just as we have Agummi, Agunsi. But agu is directly relative to the stomach because agu governs the stomach. So when the sun visits your agu, we call it onwa agu, which is the moon of agu, the month of agu, which is the month of Saturn.
Okay.
And where is Saturn directly relative? Saturn is speaking about the solar plexus, which is the stomach, the devil. So when you talk about devil, you're talking about your stomach, the seat of hell. That is also the Dead Sea. The calendar is already ready. You didn't send your email. That's why you haven't received it. Toti, did you say how?
Yeah, I said how. Wow.
How on the Avo?
Yes. Is it Agwo or Avo?
Avo. A-G-W-U. The Avo, you know. When you say Avo, Avo mother. Ino Avo.
Yes.
Are you from Igbo?
Yes, yeah, I'm money, but now see Igbo.
Okay. Do you know how the word Avo originated from? Do you know where it originated from?
No, I don't know, but I think Agwo is like when they say that you are suffering from Agwo, it's like maybe there is something in your father's land, maybe something disturbing you, something spiritually. Agwo, like somebody behaving somehow that is not normal. You understand? Agwo, yes, as in Agwo na akpia, Agwo na akpia. You understand? Yeah, but I don't know the origin.
Okay. The Agwu is about repercussions of karma.
Yes,
So
repercussion.
Agwu governs the stomach because it is relative to your nut nerves, which means your Agwu will pay you when. So if you have done so good in a previous lifetime, so in this lifetime, your Agwu will pay you with good repercussion. Agwu revisits karma. Now, in Igbo, Agu is directly related to the placenta.
Yes.
That is why in Igbo, when they say we are going to do Inuagu for a person, it means that your placenta have gone through the ritual of planting. So they raise your Agu through planting a good fruit on your placenta.
Yeah.
That is giving back what belongs to Caesar to Caesar.
Yeah.
So your accompanier, which is the placenta, will give it back to the nature by planting a tree on top of it to help you grow in life without experiencing hardship. So we do that in order for the earth not to be too hot for you, nor too cold. So which means you will not suffer too much, but only experience good life. Yes,
I have
Ago
a
is
question.
directly.
I have a question. The placenta. You said if we have the dead baby, so the placenta it is very
I can't hear you, Elizabeth. You're not coming out clear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. You said for the placenta, having a baby is dead. It is very the
Your
placenta.
voice is cracking.
Right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but when you start speaking, your voice starts cracking.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear me now?
Yes, I
Hello?
can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Speak now.
Okay.
Yes, it's better now.
Okay. because when I was in Europe, yeah, I have my children. I did not I wasn't aware of this placenta that we can we can bury it in our country. Me that I did not do this to my children because I have their teeth, their milk teeth. Can I bury that?
Where did you bury their placenta? Your children, where did you bury their placenta?
They did not tell me about this, so I think the hospital took everything.
Took it away. Obviously.
You don't know what the hospital even using that thing to do now.
What?
Do you know how powerful that thing is?
I did not know anything about this. That is the.
But I'm telling you now how powerful it is. So when you keep quiet, the hospital can use it for their own purpose. They can even sell it. Do you know the kind of ritual you can use that to do? That thing is your essence. So don't play with it. In my culture, we don't play with it. If you like, they give birth to you in America, they must bring it home.
She's ignorant of it. You won't blame her.
I don't know because I don't.
You bring the sand. If you want to do it, bring the sand. Bring the sand of Europe. Bring it, and you bring their teeth. If you have their teeth, yes,
okay.
We use it to do ikbalo, and then you go to your village to bury it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You can plant pear fruit on top of it.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. I was worried the day you told.
I don't do it for free.
I don't care. I will pay you, sir. I will give you what you want. Anything you want, sir. Thank you very much.
I like to be very sincere with myself.
Yeah, it's good. I like it too.
Yes. So,
thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Carry your noise coming for you.
Yes, is the second child. Even when what you call anointing oil. Hi, we have really been deceived. What you call the anointing oil is the placenta is what carries the anointing oil. What is
explain well,
sir,
please explain better. I think I have heard of this thing you are saying now.
Okay, are you talking about the Red Sea? I will go to that, please.
No. I mean about the anointing oil. I have had that.
No, I wasn't talking. I'm not talking to you, Toti. I was referring to the comment section.
Okay.
What do you say I should talk about?
But that's a nice topic. About the anointing oil we are talking.
What you call the anointing oil is the anoint oil.
Yeah.
And that oil is located inside the placenta. That oil can be used for so many things, so many rituals, both good and bad. That is one of the most important things about your child. That is why, in my language, we call it the agu of a child. So we use it to elevate their agu. So even when you have been buying anointing oil to anoint yourself, you are already anointed by the anoint oil. So when you hear the word anointing, it comes from the anoint, which is the human liquid. So a mother will anoint her child before birth. Why? Because of the placenta. The oil connected to the placenta only gives to the child when the child is birthed. So all the time in the womb, the placenta doesn't anoint the child. Only when the child is birthed. That is why you have to leave the placenta and the child for some time after birth. Why? Because the placenta will release its anointing into the child. That is why we respect it, because it's the agu. That is the seat of Saturn. Very, very important.
Okay.
Do you have any other question? I will be leaving now because my battery and my power bank is running low.
No, I'm just trying to say what we discussed before. Like
Okay.
since the last time we talked, I've been going through serious
Christy, the, the,
awakening.
the, the Red Sea, the Red Sea speaks about your circulatory system. So when you hear about the Red Sea, it's talking about the blood that exists within you. So your blood flow within the Garden of Eden, which is the nerves and the heart, is the Red Sea. So Moses separating the Red Sea is Moses separating the sperm to what? To the breath of life, which creates a part of enlightenment, which is his purpose. So it is when he separates this thing within him that he finds the path to the land of milk and honey. So in order for you to be in the land of milk and honey, you must also separate. You must also tighten. You must titrate. You must titrate what? The sperm into the golden knowledge. Yes, I have an Aforuken calendar that is relative to the Gregorian calendar. So when you're using it, it will be like you are also experiencing the Gregorian calendar, but what you're doing is stepping and moving in the African calendar. I said it before, Fanito, you didn't send me your email. I talked about it here live. I thought you heard. I think, Elizabeth, you have it right. I think, Elizabeth, no, it's not for sale. It's not for sale. Somebody helped me to create it. Yes, Carawanda is but is golden in color. So the golden liquid. Okay, let me give you an example. There is one golden liquid. Elizabeth, you have the calendar, right?
Yes, I do. I do. You send it to me.
Oh, okay. If you look at that, there is this oil they get from the spinal cord with a very big syringe. You know, very big syringe. They have to put it in a particular area of the spine to draw out the oil. And when that oil is drawn out, it looks like a sparkling wine, a sparkling golden wine. That oil is the Christus. And it looks like that because it has been transformed from the sperm into that oil. That oil is the bread of life. It's one of the most important, it's even the most important oil because it's rechargeable. It can be recharged. So they can just take that oil from a black person and then inject it into another creature, and they will be whole. They will experience healing because what the oil does is to heal and regenerate the body. Just as the leaves die off, the oil you create is to what? To strengthen the body, which means you are not even supposed to go to the hospital for healing. You are supposed to apply this knowledge while you eat the plants. So even when you eat the plants, you are not applying this knowledge, you're wasting the bread of life. You will never experience the land of milk and honey. So in order for you to experience the land of honey, you must turn the blood into a part, which is the Red Sea. Remember, this secretion is also your blood cell. That is why it's the Red Sea. In another allegory, it was used as the fish and the bread. So when it's in its natural form, it's called the fish. So when it's divided and titrated into the cranium, it becomes the bread of life because it gives life. Any other question? Let me take one question before I go. Christy, hope I answered your
Yes.
question.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead. Christy, please identify if you're cleared. Go ahead.
Okay. My question is, like, how long are you going to leave your sperm, the semen, then it can go up to your mind? Like, how long?
It doesn't go up to your mind, it goes up to the spiritual aspect of you to align.
Yes.
Now, how long does it stay for it to go up? Firstly, on your birthday every month, this oil rises. Thank you, Uvo. This oil is risen every day of your birth within the months.
Yes.
You get it?
Yes.
So let's assume that day is the 14th of the month, and correctly the whole month is 28 days. So if the whole month is 28 days and you were born on the 14th, which means every 28 days on the 14th, this secretion is born within you. That is the birth of the Son of Man. And where is it birthed? It's birthed from Bethlehem, which is the solar plexus. So the solar plexus is what? The Bethlehem. So it moves through the spinal column up to Joseph and Mary. That is the Holy Spirit pregnating Mary, which is the right brain, the cerebrum. So when it moves there, it stays dead for 3 days and ascends into heaven, while Joseph and Mary waits for the return of the child. So the return of the child, it doesn't return as the sperm anymore. It will return as the bread of life, which is now the cranium that brings healing to mankind. So from your birthday till full moon, you are elevating Christ. So till after full moon, you must not engage in sex. This should be happening every month. So you should have a free period when you're doing that. So it's either you're using it to create, thank you Elizabeth, to create civilization, or you're using it to do what? To create that civilization within. So what our ancestors were telling us is that we can use this secretion to create civilization in the external universe, which is the physical universe. And we can also use it to create civilization, which is the child, in the inward universe, which is the within. So the creation of that child is allowing this secretion climbing up here to the crown chakra. So when it's titrated into cranium, it moves into the seat of heaven, which is the pineal gland.
Yes, the pineal gland. Yes, the pineal gland.
Yes. Christ is taking 3 days to rise from death. That is him in the tomb. When he gets to the cerebrum, he's already in the tomb, dead. He's been crucified already. So remember, crucifixion, like I always teach in this program, crucifixion is not to die. Crucifixion is to rise in power. So in other words, when you say crucifixion, you're saying illuminating. So the illuminating you're talking about as a court is not in existence, but what it exists within. So if you're getting initiated into Illuminati, you have to be initiated within yourself. That is why we need to have education. I understand. I understand this very well, and if you can apply it, I can help people. If you can register for the class, you can elevate yourself.
I want to elevate myself, sir. I've been trying meditation all through this time.
It's not through meditation. You will try through meditation, it wouldn't work. Why? Because it's not meditation. I've said it in this program. People like Fanito will bear me witness. I've been saying it. If you're meditating because you just
peace.
want to meditate, if you're meditating because you don't want to meditate, you will never align yourself. You can only calm your mind, and after some times you go back to the lower vibration. Why? Because you should be meditating because you're waiting for something. Thank you, Fanito. The meaning of meditating means to be watchful. So what are you being watchful of? The Son of Man. That is why in the Bible we're told that the Son of Man will sneak up on us like a thief in the night. He's a thief in the night because you don't have the knowledge. It's hidden from you.
Okay, how can I do it and then elevate myself, open my pineal gland? Is there you are talking about a class? What a class?
It takes, Christy, it takes 21 days from the day you were birthed. So the universe is existing within you, which means my expression of the moons is not your own expression. So we should be having our own circle, not the same circle with other people, which means if I'm born in a different zodiac sign, I should continue my own circle, not following your own circle. Do you understand now?
So
because
I was
we're not
asking
born
you,
in the same rising of the sun, and we are not born in the same phase of the moon sign. So
are you getting me?
The whole process. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I said then what can I be doing to align my energy and to open my chakras? What class? You are talking about the class.
You are here all through and I've explained it, and you're asking me this question again. That means you need to register for class.
Okay, I should register. Then where can I get about it? Everything about it. Is it here I'm going to register? Or is it online stuff?
Yes, now I will put you through now. Tell you we'll get your birthday and everything. Then we'll start aligning. During that period, I will tell you the fruits you will be eating now. And my class is 20K a month.
Yes. Okay. Is it where can we discuss it? Is it through WhatsApp?
Yes, now we'll discuss on WhatsApp. Now I'll put you in line, put you through everything. When you start this process, there are things you shouldn't be eating. Like if you like biscuit, you will not even touch that again. If you like to drink milk, no more milk for you. There are a lot of things you need to cut down from. Why? Because when you're eating all those things, you're delaying the process of the production of the Son of Man in your body.
Yeah,
so
I started
Christy, it is 21 days from your birth, the whole thing. From the day you were birthed, then count 21 days until full moon.
Okay, I started taking ginger and garlic from last month.
No, that one should be medicine for you. I'm talking about plants you should be eating in order not to affect the Christ within. Because when the food you're eating affects it, I've thought about this, and you were in the class the day we talked about meditation and the things we should be eating. And I said, whatever you eat, you become.
Okay. You know what? Drop your WhatsApp number in the comment section.
Okay, Christy is saying, please, can you talk about when Jesus turned water into wine means in our body? Jesus turned water into wine because he titrated the sperm into crinium. The crinium is in a wine state. When you look at the gold wine, the grape wine that is gold, not the red wine, the golden one, that is how your sperm becomes after titration. It becomes crinium. Why are you laughing, AK Billion? You're welcome, my brother. So what you are expressing God as is not even God. When you say God is consciousness, God is vibration, is because you carry God within yourself. Your juice is the God. Your sperm is the God. So when this God is titrated into the cranium, it creates what is called a vibration, a universal vibration. So when it creates that vibration, it creates enlightenment and awakening to the body. So it will heal your diseases as the bread of life. Please, guys, please, fam, I will have to go now. My battery is down.
Drop your
Thank you,
My
sir.
drop your
power
Thank
WhatsApp
you
bank
for the
is
number. Drop
knowledge.
your WhatsApp number. Your WhatsApp number.
okay. Sure. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bella. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, everyone, for being here with me. I really appreciate you all. Please, let's apply this knowledge. That is why we are not manifesting. A lot of people are complaining, I am not manifesting. Why am I lacking? You are lacking because you are not in line with the Son of Man. So you need to separate the Red Sea in order to walk through to the land of milk and honey. And remember, Moses carried everyone along, because when you experience enlightenment, you will experience the healing of another. So what I mean is, when you experience this enlightenment and you have the knowledge, by giving it to other people, you can also lead them into the land of milk and honey. Jemima is saying, are you going? Jemima, do you want me to stay longer? My battery is down and my power bank is down. I can't stay any longer. But if you want to keep having this conversation, you can contact me on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is there on the comment section, so we can continue other days, or you can also register for class. Elizabeth, write me on WhatsApp so we can talk about all that. Okay, Jemima, my battery is low. I would have loved to stay longer, but my battery is down. I can't stay any longer. So we'll come back whenever. I don't have dates of my coming live, but well, I don't want this knowledge to be for the few. It's been for the few for a long time. So the collective Africans, this is what we are missing, and this is what the knowledge our ancestors had that makes them spiritual and powerful. So if this knowledge is not applied, you are not like your ancestors. Okay, please quickly explain the resurrection, where it happened in the body. The resurrection happens in the head, the Golgotha. So when you talk about Golgotha, the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, which is the mountain Jesus was crucified, you're talking about the skull. Like I said, crucifixion means to rise in power. So the resurrection, yes, the skull is the Golgotha, the resting place of Jesus Christ, and also the tomb. So first, Jesus was crucified in Golgotha on the cross of Calvary. And what is the cross? The cross signifies the north, east, west, and south, which is the 4 cardinal points. Now you look at the human body, you look at the head, the expression from the head to the heart region and the shoulder. Sorry about that. And the 2 shoulders is the cross. So that is why normally you don't even know the reason you're doing the sign of the cross. When you do the sign of the cross, you are identifying the skull, which is the crown chakra. And then you are identifying the heart chakra. And then you are going to the shoulders, which is the leveling of the spinal column. So the tomb is the head, inwardly, and the protector of the Jesus Christ is what? The skull. So the Golgotha is the skull. Golgotha equal to skull and equals to tomb. You're correct. You're very correct. Toti, I can't accept you back into the life because I'm about to go down. Please, next time we'll have a clearer knowledge about this. Yes, Blackroot side. This account deserves to grow, yes, but since I'm not seeing vision, a lot of people will not like it. And what I'm saying triggers people. The heaven is the alu, which is the alu. the pineal gland. In Igbo, we call it alonsi. Alonsi is the alo. The pineal gland is the alo. Then the nsi is the optic thalamus. So the optic thalamus is the nsi. So when we say agwunsi, it means that it was regenerated from the inward, which is the stomach, the solar plexus, up to the nsi. You know, that is why we call it agwunsi. Why? Because the creation of this secretion starts from the solar plexus, which is the agwu, the seat of eke. Eke. It creates. No, the optic thalamus is not the pineal gland. The pineal gland is what releases the cranium into the optic thalamus. The optic thalamus is for the creation of illusion. So that is why everything they are doing in the news, social media, and everything is to affect the illusion. So the optic is more important because that is how we create. If the optic dwells on illusion, you can never be able to create. That is why you need to rise the Christ into the optic. Yes, the optic thalamus is the allegory of Lucifer or horoscope. That is where the word horoscope comes from, because it comes from the third eye. You know, the original first eye is here. The pineal gland is actually for intuition. That is not the eye of Heru, but rather the eye of Ra. So the Heru is here, the thalamus, which is the expression of balance from Joseph and Mary, which is the left and the right brain. My YouTube is mostly what we have discussed here, so I post it there on Facebook because of some people. At times it's just too large. I cannot upload all of them here, so I just take it to YouTube for my family here to enjoy. So I don't have audience in YouTube yet, no audience. The YouTube is Bella. The YouTube is like this: shamanic vibes. Bella, that is the YouTube on the comment section. You're welcome. So this program, the collective, will be on YouTube by the end of today. So there are other ones already there, but this particular one will be on YouTube by the end of today. That is what we are not being told, because if you have to manifest, if you have to meditate, you must know this knowledge. And remember, whatever you eat, you're becoming. Why? Because we must not give the unnatural things into the natural things. It's very, very important. So take care, everyone. Have a blessed sunrise. Make sure you are meditating to elevate. Don't meditate to calm just the mind. Meditate to elevate. Thank you, Bella. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. So thank you so much, Wanyoma. If it was religion, we would take it to the doorstep because of the program. But if it's true knowledge, nobody likes to share. But you're not sharing it for my own benefit. No. Even if I have money today, my dream is to build a place, an institution where I can teach people how to truly elevate themselves. So if you're having a spiritual awakening, that is because you are beginning to understand that what you have been told is not true. That is not because you have opened the optic. When you open the optic, you can see clairvoyantly into another people's life, which means you can remember your past and also tap into the future. You know? So this is one knowledge. What you call God, from today, know it that when you refer God, you're talking about your sperm and your egg as a woman. One egg of a woman is sold especially the black woman, is sold for $500. And some people have it stored in a bank, that is worth up to 6 million. Think how powerful you are. You are very powerful. They wouldn't want you to know that your own sperm as a black person and your juice as a woman contains the 9-ether. Why? Because you can use it to create and you can use it to become a god. So we taught them celibacy. You're not different from the animals. The animals only met during their heat period. That is the same trend we should be following. Who told you as a man you don't have a heat period? As a man, you have your heat period too. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you all. Bella, thanks. Elizabeth, thank you. Wanyoma Titsi, thank you. All. Mati Richana, thank you. Liz Mimi, Carol Wonderful, Jifons, thank you. JM Belly, thank you so much. Eva Diva 20, thank you. Friday Mba Musi, thank you. Black Rose, thanks for being here. Jamina, thank you. Yemida, thank you. Semen, thank you. AK Billion, thank you. Toti, Jokali, Sandy, Chuma Dingozi, thank you all. And other people, I can see your names. Thank you so much for being here. Till we meet again, please, you all have my number on the comment section. If you don't see it, go to my profile, you'll see my number there. Please, if you're outside Nigeria, remove the first 0, put +234. If you're outside Nigeria, remove the first 0, replace it with +234. You can get me on WhatsApp like that. Okay, thank you, everyone. May we all be blessed. Lastly, it is only when you identify the process of magic within. Thank you so much, Yamida. If you don't know you are magic, you will never experience magic. Why? Because magic comes from within. So in order for you to experience magic, you must align the magic within. So thank you so much. And for my Igbo people, you do not elevate your chi on the outside because your chi dwells within you. So you elevate your chi within. So the expression of that child is the total balance you have created by elevating the sperm and the juice within. So if you're a woman, protect it. If you're a man, protect it. I mean, you should only use it to create divine beings. Thank you, everyone. Thank you also, love from Biafra. Okay, we are also in the land of the rising sun. Okay, so the true practice of being a Christian is to preserve and elevate the Christus oil. Yes, that is why they are telling the monks to practice celibacy. That is the true knowledge and the true practice. And mind you, somebody like me is not Antichrist. If you're a religious person, you are the Antichrist. Because why? You are anti to the Christ knowledge. You understand? So if you're religious, you call me Antichrist, you are having a reflection of yourself in me. Why? Because you are preaching against the true knowledge of Christ. I am saying the true knowledge of Christ. So I am not anti-Christ. Thank you, everyone. We must elevate. And how do we elevate? Is through the knowledge of self.